Faithful, that's what you are to me. I turn my back on you and you still save the seat at the table with my name on it. You must love me so much it don't make no sense. Cause I was doing stupid things you wouldn't be proud of. Oh, but you still saw me and you covered me with your love. Whoa, I couldn't say thank you enough. I couldn't say thank you enough. You went to hell and back. You had to leave your throne. You had to be rejected so I wouldn't be alone. You had to leave your house so you could be my home. But, yeah, it was all for me. Ooh, all for me. Everything you did, it was all for me. Everything you shared, it was all for me. All the love you gave, it was all for me. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You will always be. I didn't always know it, God, I'm sorry. But yeah, fighting battles that I couldn't even see. Cause when I didn't care about you, not even at all. Oh, you were up there dying for me on a wooden cross. Whoa, I couldn't say thank you enough. I couldn't say thank you enough. You went to hell and back. You had to leave your throne. You had to be rejected so I wouldn't be alone. You had to leave your house so you could be my home. But, yeah, it was all for me. Ooh, all for me. Everything you did, it was all for me. Everything you shared, it was all for me. All the love you gave, it was all for me. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. You didn't have to do it. All for me. All for me. Should've saved my breath, should've laid us to rest, but I ain't give up on us. You were worth the stress. Took you out the trenches, took you off the bench, and gave you my heart, not to mention. Now I'm in your mentions, now you talking reckless. Won't admit that you're wrong. Gave you all to me when it's on me the worst. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurt. Should've saved my breath, put me to the test. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurts. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurts. Should've saved my breath, should've laid us to rest, but I ain't give up on us. You were worth the stress. I ain't never bad shit, even though you bad shit. Now you on my bad list, gave me bad habits. Praying for my last one, shrunk in the casket. Won't admit I need help. Gave you all to me when it's on me the worst. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurt. Should've saved my breath, put me to the test. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurts. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurts. Should've saved my breath, should've laid us to rest, but I ain't give up on us. You were worth the stress. Should've saved my breath, should've laid us to rest, but I ain't give up on us. You were worth the stress. Should've saved my breath, put me to the test. Should've saved my breath 'cause it hurts. Should've saved my breath, 'cause it hurts. Should've saved my breath. Yeah, should've saved my breath. Should've saved my breath, 'cause it hurts.
All praise to the Most High, families. I first want to give all thanks, honor, glory, and all power to the Most High Yahuah, His only begotten Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, those that call Him Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Emmanuel, families all around the world, and a set apart Ra HaKadosh, families, that fire. Families, I want to say Kwam Yasharallah, and families, man, I'm glad that everybody's in the building. If it kick us out, families, please come back in. Today's lesson is going to be absolutely remarkable, families. We is going to go over Yahuah Tsabaoth, families. You will find that in Romans chapter 9, verses 25 through 29. The first time that you will see this, families, will be in 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. But the first time that it was actually mentioned, families, was in Genesis chapter 49, 1 through 10. With that being said, families, we is going to go to another music joint, families. That way we can get an understanding about what do Yahuah Tsabaoth really means, families. It means the Adonai of armies. It means the God of armies, the Lord of armies, or aka the Lord of battles. It means the Most High Yah, or the Most High's military might. His military might. Families, the Elohim of hosts is mentioned almost 282 times in the scriptures. 282 times. The only reason why a lot of people is running away from this type of information, families, is because, families, a lot of people is not ready for war. A lot of people is not ready for battle. With that being said, families, we're going to go to another music video. Then we finna go into some scriptures. With that being said, families, we will get edified by a wonderful lesson, families. That way that people can get prepped up in this hour. Let's go.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, blessings,
I'm
beautiful
gonna
queen,
release it out of my
Jacqueline.
hands.
Shalom, my beautiful sister. Hey, sis. Kwam Yasharallah. Let's go, sis. Come on, children of Yasharallah. Let's go.
I'm giving you all control. And I don't wanna do it no more without you right here by my side. So have your way, yeah. Have your way, yeah.
Gotcha.
I can't believe I fell asleep again. Chosen to be weak again. It's scars all on my feet again. It's lies, then I'm sleeping in. What you doing? You the one that put yourself inside this mess. No one to blame me. You the same and you remain inside your flesh. Mama always told me it was lonely, and it ain't always easy. Supposed to be praying, but God, you always came and got me sleeping. I don't want you to leave me, but you the one I'm always leaving. You say you can tell by my love, by all these laws that I'm keeping. Lately I'm just giving up, and I ain't giving much. I need your touch, cause lately I'm just feeling stuck. Get me out this yuck, it seems impossible, but Lord, I surrender, I give it all to you. Yeah, I'm gonna release it out of my hands and put it into yours, Lord. Have your way inside of my life. Yeah, giving you all control, and I don't wanna do it no more without you right here by my side. Have your way. Broken home, broken family. Without you, it ain't happening. Can't keep on pretending that I got something I ain't having. Lord, I'm nothing. I'm nothing without you. I can't do nothing. But you took these broken pieces and turned it to something.
Let's go.
Now I'm looking in the stars in the sky, thinking about that time that passed me by.
That's right.
You ain't never left my side. You never did me wrong, and every time I called your name, Lord, you reply. Hey, who am I that you are mindful of me? That you know my name? Just one touch from your garment, and I never been the same no more. Hey, I give you my praise for sure. I can't even be the same no more. My desires ain't the same no more. I've been redeemed truly. That's why I say, Lord, have your way and let your spirit use me. Don't care no more if I be flying planes around the world. I'm just thankful for my two boys, my wife, and my baby girl. Grab my hands, put it in the yours, Lord. Have your way inside of my life.
Let's go.
Giving you all control, and I don't wanna do it no more without you right here by my side. So have your way, yeah, and have your way, yeah.
Kwam Yasharala, that is one of my joints right there, families. Have your way. And families, man, if you always do the Most High's will, he's going to make sure, families, that if you understand his ordinances, he's going to direct your paths in his ways. And you will have it your way. With that being said, families, we had a wonderful lesson today. A lot of people, beautiful Queen Jacqueline, I want to say thank you so much for your kind responses. That truly humbled me, and I want to thank you for understanding, sis. You know, certain places they be tripping on the Hebrew, sis. I don't know why, Queen. But families, as you continue to study through your text, your scriptures, my brothers and sisters, families, you will see sis, families, you will see Hebrew and Greek words that is not in English. You will have to get the transliteration of these certain words and why they kept these certain words in its Greek or Hebraic meaning. We finna go to an example of that, families. But with that being said, families, I want to let people know, families, that don't run away from people. And when you sit there and you see people, man, is trying to understand Hebraic meanings or a Hebraic culture, don't run away from us, families, because families, we brothers and sisters out here, we are fighting out here for each other. We fighting out here for each other. So you have a lot of parents right now that are getting their kids out of the schools right now, families, and are doing homeschooling for their children, because at the beginning of the year, families, which the beginning of the year isn't until March when spring comes around, but because we over here and we in the land of our captivity, everybody think that the new year was January 1st, Janus 1st, but it wasn't, my brothers and sisters. With that being said, we is going to talk about Yahuah Tsabaoth. Family, you will find this exact same Lord of hosts, the Adonai of hosts. That means the Adonai of armies, families, the Adonai of battles. Why was Paul letting you know this? He let you know that in Romans chapter 9, verse 25 through 29. But first, families, hey, shalom, beautiful queen. Abib, yes, sis, Abib. That's the beginning of March. And the most I want you to remember that. Blessings, beautiful Queen Anointed. It's so wonderful to see you. Hey, families, beautiful Queen Anointed, while I be on my breaks, she has been dropping some wonderful videos, family, just to keep people posted on what's going on. Y'all go check out sis, man, while she got her time, families, and she's sharing a lot of things with us. Okay, families, with that being said, families, we're going to talk about Yahuah's military might. We had a lesson today that was absolutely powerful, and a lot of people is not going to understand these Hebraic understandings. Families, there's a lot of people that is talking about their comments being cut down, their chat being shut off and stuff like that. Families, when you welcome, beautiful Queen Anointed. We love you, sis. Shalom, sis. Families, there's predators all over the social media right now. Families, it's up to us as adults, men and women, grown-ups, families, to lead and guide our children in the way, families. And families, You can be able to intake certain information or certain knowledge and teach your children. Your children don't have to try to teach themselves, families. They don't. I mean, in order for them to tie their shoe, they need instructions. Somebody will have to teach them. They will have to walk them through it, families, and then they will be able to tie their shoes by themselves. With that being said, families, they ain't even gonna know where to start. Eventually, they will get it. But families, why have the struggle? The Most High sit there and says that you will not have to struggle if you walk in my paths. So when somebody sit there and say that the Holy Spirit will lead you, it will, families, but you will have to help it out. The Holy Spirit just ain't going to just completely control your body, especially if you used to be wicked. It doesn't work like that, man. Okay, families. All praises, sis. With that being said, families, we finished a great talk about Yahuah's military might. But for me to get back into that, families, I have to talk about this kids. Families, there's a lot of people that's in the Israelite community who still got their chats up, they still got their comments up. Because families, the content is meant for adults. You can't be showing no rated R nothing, families. And then want to sit here and label it for kids. It doesn't if you can't send your kids to the movie theaters where it's rated R, what make you think that they can come on a worldwide platform and you showing rated R videos, you playing rated R music, and then you want to sit here and market for kids? Come on, families. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That doesn't make no sense. What make you different than the outside world just because you sit behind a computer, press live, and then play rated R stuff on your videos? Who does? And then label it for kids. And then you want to know why YouTube shut your comments off. Why you ain't got no live chat and some more stuff, my brothers and sisters. It don't make no sense. Yeah, the schools is teaching our kids crazy right now, sis. But man, we have to let people know, man, that there are people out there that is sitting there saying, families, that you might be part of the system if you still got your chat up and stuff. Families, this is an adult program over here, man. We don't no kids allowed, because why? We protect our kids. A kid gonna stay in a child place, man. The Most High said there and says, as you come as a child, that means that for you to come as a child, that means you is easily to be retaught again. That's what that meant. He didn't mean come childish like. He didn't mean come to have like a childish mind state. No, he mean to be retaught again, come as like a child. Because when you is like a child, you is easily to be retaught. You can't tell a grown person nothing if they already got their mind made up, my brothers and sisters. It don't make no sense. Especially families if they not preparing themselves for war. That's why it sits there and says in the scriptures that you must be 20 years of age if you is ready to battle. 20 years of age. It means that you, exactly, beautiful queen anointed, respect others. But families, if they're going to be those that going to have a childlike mind state, you keep them there. The Most High Yah is not playing with nobody out here that is not ready for battle. Families, we have brothers and sisters out here, man, that depend on us, that's ready for battle. We are trying to prep ourselves up for worship, for the Most High military, families. Those that want to stay behind, don't worry. The Most High is going to direct us and train us well to protect you. Then whenever you're ready to hop off the porch, we're going to be waiting on you, man. You're going to have your sword and your armor. We're going to be having it ready for you. But we're not going to knock you down because you ain't ready yet. But if you ain't ready yet, you do not need to be teaching. You do not need to be teaching. If you're not ready for war, you do not need to be teaching. Period. And we're going to, families, we're going to get a Hebraic understanding about what Yah want from us and what do Yahuah Tsabaoth means, families. I can't wait until this later on the Sabbath. We will be doing a part 2 on that. With that being said, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. This ain't meant for everybody, man. Yasharala, I want to say that I love you. It is meant for you and families. Yeah, we got to continue to pray for them, beautiful Queen Anointed. But until then, sis, the Most High left us instructions. And he left the men and the women, sons and daughters of Zion. All our forefathers and our foremothers knew how to fight. They knew how to fight. How dare them make it seem like that we don't know how to fight? 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. It's because, families, we in the land of our captivity and we done been beaten down so much, families, that we so easily to surrender. But it's not like that in our history. And we're going to go to the scriptures to prove that. 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. Now we even going to talk about Yahuah Tsabaoth. That means the Elohim or the Adonai of armies. That means the Yah, the Most High Yah military might. That means that he is the Lord of hosts that will deliver you. He will preserve you. That means that he will also battle the wicked for you. As well, that also means that Yahuah will battle over obstacles for you. He is the Lord of Tsabaoth. Let's go, man. All right, families, we need to read verse 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. Hallelujah. Let's go, sis. Let's learn. It's time to eat. Then we got to go to our message. Our class, families. We actually study over here. That's one thing that we do over here. This is not meant for kids. This is meant for adults so we can train up our children. This is not meant for kids. Okay, families. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 45 through 47. Then said David to the Philistines, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of Yahuah of hosts, the Adonai of armies of Yasharallah, whom thou hast defied. Why did he sit there and says Samuel now? Because Samuel ended up giving his name from Hannah. You will find that in 1 Samuel chapter 1 and 11. Because Hannah had a problem of bearing a child. So she kept on praying to the Most High. She had faith that the Most High would let her bear a child, families. This wasn't nothing that was anything physical. It was strictly spiritual, my brothers and sisters. That means that family, she put her faith to works so she will be able to bear a child. And families, when she did receive her child, she received a son. And families, her son became one of the most greatest prophets of Israel history, Samuel. You will find that in 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 11. That's talking about one of our foremothers. Her name is Hannah. Verse 46. This day will Yahuah deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thy head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a Elohim in Yasharallah. Families, we were supposed to be that light from the beginning, but was Samuel done when he was talking to the children of Israel? No, because he knew that he was great. He knew that he had to fight. Check out verse 47. And all this assembly, all who? Was it part of it? No, he says, and all this assembly. No, it must have been a small remnant. No, he says, and all this assembly. No, it must be just those, man, who just represent their own little organization. Because y'all the only ones that's doing something out here, as if ain't nobody else that represent the Most High Yah ain't putting in no work. It must just be y'all only. No, he sat there and says, and all this assembly shall know. No, we must gotta think about it. No, he says shall know. We gotta make a debate about this. No, he says and shall know that the Most High saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is of the Most High, and he will give you into our hands. Let's go. We're not finished right there. We need to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 5, because the Most High said there says that if he's going to give the enemies into our hands, families, how is he going to do that? That means he's going to deliver them to us. Isaiah chapter 31, verse 5. We ain't got to do nothing, families. He's going to fight for us. So when people sit here and talk about these wars, families, the Most High is causing these wars to happen. He's the one that make things live, come to life. He the ones, families, that makes things go die, families. He does all that, families. People think there is no power in your Father, in your Creator, when he controls all things. So when somebody sit there and says that the Most High sit there and says with curses and blessings, families, when curses come on you, family, it's because he placed them curses upon you, families. That means there is a such thing that says what goes around come around, families. If somebody don't believe in what goes around come around, that is something that needs to be thought about. Why? Because you don't believe in curses. You don't believe in blessings. You don't believe that you can change the aspect of what's going on in your life. That means that if you have been doing wicked things, you sitting there saying that the Most High created you wicked. So it's meant for you to do things like that. So people that just go out here and just kill people for no reason, that means that it was their purpose to go, because they don't believe in karma. They don't believe in what goes around come around. You don't believe in karma. That means that person was destined to come at a certain age and commit murder. Doesn't make no sense, families. Watch this. Isaiah chapter 31 and 5. Oh, don't worry. It's going to lead up to our lesson, families. We got to build, my brothers and sisters. That's one thing we do over here. We build. Isaiah chapter 31 and 5. Because, families, when that time comes, families, when the Most High come like a thief in the night, while those is waiting to try to have fun the next day, nah, families, the Most High ain't going to come like a thief in the night, man, for those that been waiting on him, man. And that's real. You can't get no realer than that. This book is coming to life, man. If you didn't believe in nothing before you got into these scriptures, and then something made you come into the scriptures, there's a reason why the Spirit led you into these scriptures and make you want to read these scriptures and understand each precept and understand each meaning in Hebraic understanding, or sometimes Greek understanding. Want to know why they transliterated certain words and stuff like that, why they've put this over here and put that over there and stuff like that. It makes you want to put some work in, my brothers and sisters. Because your faith is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And families, when your faith gets stronger, you is getting stronger. So the precept of 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47 will be Isaiah chapter 31 and 5. So we read verse 4 through 5. For thus have the Most High spoken unto me, like as a lion and the young lion roar on his prey. When a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he would not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Most High, the Lord of hosts. We is talking about Yahuah the Tsabaoth, right? This means the Elohim of armies. He's the God of armies. Check this out. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount who? Zion, and for the hill thereof. As birds flying, so will the Most High of hosts defend who? Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will do what, families? Preserve it. That's like a eagle hovering over her nest. for any prey, man, that's trying to get to her eggs. That's like a mama bear protecting her cubs. That's like a lion, uh, uh, a female lion protecting her cubs. Let's continue. Verse 6. Turn ye unto him, for whom the children of Yasharallah, to cold, my brothers and sisters, of Israel, have deeply revolted. Now, families, we need to go to Malachi chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, because people need to understand who is your creator. And once you start finding out who your creator is, you're going to start fearing him. And families, you're going to understand, families, that you was destined to do something. Does he change? Let's find out. Malachi chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. You got to come like a child, families. That means you need to be retaught again. You cannot come into these scriptures acting like you was a teacher, and then you're not prepping your brothers and sisters up in this hour. If you're not ready for war, you need to sit back on the porch and let some real teachers come out here that's trying to teach us for battle, train us up to get ready for battle. Malachi chapter 3, we're going to read verses 1 through 6. This is the Most High. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare what? The way before me. And the Most High, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the what? The covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, said the Most High of hosts. Why we keep on saying this Lord of hosts? Why you keep on saying Yahuah Tsabaoth? Check this out. But who may obey the day of his coming? Who's going to obey that day of his coming? Why did they do it with a question mark? Because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be sleeping that hour. There's going to be a lot of people that ain't going to be ready. There's a lot of people out there, man, that's going to be wanting to have fun. There's a lot of people out there, man, that's going to tell you that, hey, everything that U.S. do is fake. We ain't no army, ain't no war going on. Family, you ain't even understanding who's constructing all this stuff together. You thinking a man is doing this, but nah. That's because you ain't reading. Check this out again. But who may obey? Obey means to obey the day of his coming with a question mark. And who shall stand and who shall stand when he appears? Who's going to be those that's going to stand with him when he appear? With a question mark. Them are the saints. Those, man, that keep the commandments of Yah. Check this out. For he is like a refiner, fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purify of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Most High an offering in righteousness. Who he gonna offer them up with? Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Most High. That's what Levi is going to do. That's why we need Levi to stand up in this hour. But people is telling you, you don't need to worry about no tribe. Can nobody know what tribe they come from? Families, you do not let that type of spirit confuse you, because they confuse. The Most High is speaking to you because he tell you how powerful he is. Do he change? Let's find out. And he shall sit as a refiner and purify the silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi. We need them to stand up right now, because they the one that started the Levitical priesthood, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Most High an offering of righteousness. Because we got to thank Moses for that. He's the one that went up to the mount, got the covenant for us, families, got the laws, families, put on stone for us. He's the one that do that. Watch this. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Most High, as in the days of old, and as in former years. The Most High going to sit and say it's former years? Not just in the days of old, but he going to say in the former years. When this going to happen, Most High? And I will come near to you in judgment. What judgment, Most High? And I will be swift. You going to be swift when? Witness against the sorcerers. Against the sorcerers and against the adulterers. These are those, man, that want to continue doing what they doing. Those, them sorcerers, they're the ones that telling you, man, that all these wars are fake. They're the ones that sitting over here telling you, man, we need to do this and we need to do that. And I prepping you up for war. Check this out. and against false swearers. Who are them false swearers? Those that's in there saying the Most High told me this and the Most High told me that. And against those that oppress the hearing in his wages. These are us that's trying to tell you to come out there and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Watch this. The widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me. Who don't fear the Most High? Those that telling you that the laws are done away with. Said the Lord of hosts. You're gonna understand, man, his military might when he get done with you. Watch this. Even from the days of your fathers, you are going away from my ordinances. Who's going away? Those that tell you not to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yah, and have not kept them. Who didn't keep them? Those that sitting there telling you, man, that the commandments are hung up on the cross. Return unto me. Who's supposed to return unto him? Israel. And I will return unto you. He's going to turn his face back to who? Israel. Said the Lord of hosts. Oh, I bet you don't even know his name, do you? Do you know his son name? Can thou tell? No, because they telling you that Hebrew don't matter. But ye said, wherein shall we return? With a question mark. Where you going to return to? Back home. But people telling you that Jerusalem is over here in America. Let's go. We need to go to Romans. Let's see if Paul was seeing the exact same message. Let's go to the New Testament. Then we're going to understand why the Most High is trying to tell Yasharallah to cry loud. He ain't telling all people to cry loud. He's telling a certain group of people to cry loud. Romans chapter 9, verse 25 to 29. This ain't meant for all people, man. It's meant for a certain group, a chosen seed. We're going to read verse 9, chapter 1. Salaki families. Salaki. We're going to read Romans 9, chapter verse 1, and then we're going to jump down to 25 to 29. I said the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, the Ruach. Let's go. Verse 25. As he said also in Hosea means in the book of Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. That's Hosea chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them that ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living Most High. Family, that's in Hosea chapter 2. Isaiah also cried concerning Yasharallah, though the number of the children of Yasharallah be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. That's going to be a small amount. And he's telling you that a remnant is going to be saved. It's not going to be a lot of people, man. Check this out. Because y'all think he's playing, huh? He going to let you know what it is. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness. The Most High will cut his work short in righteousness, families. Because a short work will the Most High make upon the earth. The Most High ain't going to take this. He ain't going to be long with this. He's not going to be long. They said that says, man, can a great nation be founded within a day? You show right. Check this out. And as Isaiah said before, except the Most High, Yahuah of Tsabaoth, had left us a seed. What seed? We had been as Sodoma and been made like unto Gomorrah. He's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. This chosen seed, this special seed. Paul knew who this special seed was because he was part of that special seed. But a lot of other people was trying to tell you and make you forget about this special seed. Why are they trying to make you forget? Why? Let's go back to Malachi chapter 3. Let's go back to Malachi chapter 3. And I will come near to you to judgment. This is why they're trying to make you forget. And I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers and against the adulterers and against false swearers and against those that oppress the hirelings in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, said the Lord of hosts, for I am the Most High Yahuah. I change not. Therefore, ye sons of who? Of Jacob. He's talking about the sons of Israel. He was no longer called Jacob, families, when he wrestled with that angel, families. He was called, his name got changed to Israel. The Lord of hosts changed his name, families. Check this out. For I am Yahuah. I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. But why do people got you forgetting? Why? Because he sat there and says in verse 7, even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from my ordinances. That's why. That's why you don't know Yahuah Tsabaoth. That's why when Paul sat there and said that people don't even know what the heck that means, when he's sitting there saying that Yah military's might, he's saying that it's the Most High of armies. And he's going to come and battle for you. Check this out. And have not kept them. Return unto me. The Most High been telling us to come back to him. And I return unto you, said the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? You making it fit. They don't brainwash your mind so bad that you don't even remember where you came from. And this is why the Most High said this. Would a man rob the Most High? Yea, ye have robbed me. But ye say, where have we robbed thee? In the tithes or in offerings? No, he said there, says, this is how you robbed them. Ye are cursed with the curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that they may be meat in my house. What is that meat, families? He ain't talking about no food that you eat. He's talking about spiritual knowledge, man. And prove me now herewith. Why would he sit there and tell you to bring meat into a storehouse, but tell you to prove to him me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts. If I would not open you the windows of the Most High, have we been talking about the manna will cease? Have we been talking about that hidden manna? Have we been talking about that knowledge that the Most High been raining down to this earth right now? And he says that he's going to pour his spirit out on all man, all flesh. And people is still sounding confounded. They coming up with all these excuses. But ain't nobody ready for war. No, the Most High know a lot of people ain't going to be ready for war. Check this out. Said the Lord of hosts, if I would not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out what? A blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and he shall not destroy what? The fruits of your what? Ground. Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, said the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall do what? Call you blessed, for ye shall be the lightsome man, said the Lord of hosts. Families, that's why the Most High want us to understand his structure. That's why. But people don't understand structure. Why they don't understand structure? Let's go to James chapter 5, man. Let's go to James chapter 5. Families, I be studying, man. I'm not that type of brother, man, that want to be in a room with 200 people and telling you straight lies and ain't giving you Hebraic understanding with the scriptures and giving you a storyline that's going on with the scriptures. Families, I come to you just the way that I wrote my notes down. I come to you like I write my notes down in my classes. I don't sit here and lie to you and tell you that the Holy Spirit came to me and showed me this and showed me that. No, families. I tell you that, families, I be in an assembly with a group of other brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of Zion, and families. We all put our ideas together, families, only through scriptures. And we let the Ruach lead us while we are together. We know we can't do it by ourselves. And families, we see what the Ruach is saying to each other together. And families, we all come up with the exact same scriptures. That's how you be of one mind, one body, and one sound. How can one person, and we all supposed to be in the body of Christ, we speaking like this, but we got a whole nother group that might be bigger than us, coming up with nothing but lies, speaking out the exact same book, but they speaking a whole different message. Unprepared, man. They unprepared. They ain't ready for war. Let's go to James chapter 5, 1 through 9. Everybody in Israel, man, got their comment section up right now, man. We know, man. We know our classes ain't meant for kids because we the one that's training our kids in this hour, man. You don't show no rated R stuff, man, to no children. Who does that, man? Come on now. You can't even take your kids to a rated R movie, man. What make you think you're going to do it on a worldwide platform? Don't make no sense, man. James chapter 5. Then come up with all these excuses. Check this out, my brothers and sisters. All right, I had to make sure I was in the right one. Okay, let's go. Verse 7 through 9. Be patient, therefore. Who's supposed to be patient? Israel's supposed to be patient. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of who? Yahuah. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience. Who been having long patience for it? The Most High been having long patience for this. Ever since the beginning of creation, families, when Adam sinned in the garden. But you don't believe in karma? Be patient, therefore, brethren. Let me read that again for those that don't believe in karma. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of who? Yahuah. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the what? The early and latter rain. Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts. For the coming of Yahuah draweth near. Who's coming? His judgment. Grudge not one another. Salaki families, verse 9 again. Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be what? Condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door. The Most High is trying to tell you, you better hold on about how you judge your brothers out here. You need to watch your lips. Watch this. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of Yahuah, for an example of sufferings, afflictions, and of what? Patience. Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of who? Of Job, and have seen the end of the Most High, that the Most High is very pitiful and of tender mercy. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea, and your nay be nay, lest ye fall into condemnation. Pause, family.
I know you see this sauce, it's just a little cheese. Chasing after the cross, puffing it we way up. Keeping my face, I feel like no one. You know my squad lit. Every day is a weekend. They see the light, bro. Come closer, we the beacon. Don't know no talking. We living what we speaking. Finding living, love it, spread it on. Won't forget it, yeah, that's how we reach. I'm on one page, we flipping pages. He's changing our ways, yeah. He's with us on stage, we be rocking stages. Red is my team, and no way I ain't changing the thing, I hope you know. And I'm here, we got the victory, I hope you know. You can beat the sauce and chemistry, I hope you know. He's with us on stage, we be rocking stages. Red is my team, no way I ain't changing the thing, I hope you know. That's the folks, they claim Christ. They all in the shame, bro. Let us the name deliver, no fear, no stage fright. But enough about that, let's get to the facts. Yeah, moving forward, we ain't never looking back. We see our past, we see our promise. We try to graduate like we in college. We on a new level, this ain't a game. We rocking the mic, but he breaking the chains. We ain't never been the same. New attitude, switching lanes. All of my sins have been paid. It's not for the money or fame. Extra, extra, read all about it. You hear the news, relate us to crew. I hope you know. We flipping page, we flipping pages. He's changing our ways, he's changing our ways, yeah. He's with us on stage, we be rocking stages. Relate us, my team, in no way I ain't changing a thing. I hope you know. Yeah, we got the victory. I hope you know. You can beat the sauce and chemistry. I hope you know. He's with us on stage, we be rocking stages. Relate us, my team, no way I ain't changing a thing. I hope you know. Feeling DJ Khaled, we the best. Give us strength to all our weaknesses. After testing, I know that there's something he's teaching us. Yeah, we all fall short, we get up. Yeah, that's what the dance is. Yeah, I hope that y'all listening. This is my penmanship. Yeah, we just living it when we had nothing. Yeah, we still turn good. Now we got something. Yeah, we still turn. Yeah, they see me while I'm on stage like, oh my God, JG, that boy doing too much. Hope that y'all see Jesus in me. How I express myself. Go crazy. We flipping pages, we flipping pages. He's changing our ways, he's changing our ways, yeah. He's with us on stage, we be rocking stages. Relate us, my team, in no way I ain't changing a thing. I hope you know. Yeah, we got the victory. I hope you know. You can beat the sauce and chemistry. I hope you know. He's with us on stage, we be rocking stages. Relate us, my team, no way I ain't changing a thing. I hope you know.
All praise to the Most High, family. It's all praises. Come, beautiful Queen, Jacqueline. That will be James chapter 5, sis, and you will read verses 5 through 6, and then 7 to 9, sis. Really, sis, you'll really read 1 through 9. Honestly, 1 through 9. But we you know how we do it. We get you precept upon precept, so we go straight to the body blows. Straight, we don't even play with you. Then, sis, you will do Romans chapter 9, 25 through 29. I think that's right before. But the Most High, he had a deep message. So when was Tsabaoth really, when was that actually first mentioned, though, families? The Lord of Armies. That was really first mentioned, families, in Genesis chapter 49, 1 through 10. 1 through 10. Because the Most High had a deep, Jacob had a deep message to his children, families. He had a very deep message. We will read that at the end of the lesson, families. At the end of our class and everything, we're going to read Genesis chapter 49, 1 through 10. That's for Israel. That's the message from Jacob to his sons. Abraham ain't got, he is the seed of Abraham, families. But families, the Most High chosen Jacob that will bring out the key of David. People don't know what they talking about out here, my brothers and sisters. So families, so we can get back into this. So what do Tsabaoth meaning is? We already know what his meaning is. Tsabaoth, it means, it appears in reference to armies or armed hosts of men in Exodus and Isaiah, but it's not used as a divine epithet in the Torah, Joshua, or Judges. Was that all that they had? I slightly doubt it. Let's go. So what does Tsabaoth mean in the Bible? Actually, Tsabaoth is an English transliteration of the Greek word Tsabaoth that is derived from the Hebrew word Tsabaoth, the word of the prophet Isaiah used in his book, in which the King James translators rendered host. That means Jehovah or Yahuah Tsabaoth, meaning the Lord of hosts. It's talking about Yahuah, the Most High with respect to what? His judgment. Have we been finding out how he's going to deliver us? How he's going to preserve us? His promise that he was going to deliver us was in Isaiah chapter 31, verses 5. That's why they mentioned the book of Isaiah, because there was a promise from Yah. When you read chapter 31, verse 5, Yah made a promise to Israel, to the house of Jacob, that he was going to deliver us and he was going to preserve us. You heard about his full might, families, in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 45 through 47. Then, families, we know about how he does he ever changes? No, he doesn't change his families, because we read that in Malachi chapter 3, verses 5 through 6. So, families, people is going to confuse you, and they're going to skip down. They're going to tell you this don't mean this and this don't mean that. You don't need to know no Hebrew and some more stuff, families. These people don't know what they talking about, man. That's a Hebrew word. In order for you to even know what that meant, you have to know the Hebrew of it, the Hebrew meaning, because they left it what in its Hebrew pronunciation, families. They left it there for you so you could go look it up, or you wouldn't even know what that word meant. Let's go, man. These people don't know what they're talking about, man. Check this out. So when we went to James chapter 5, 1 through 9. This is him crying out, families. This was like a cry. And you'll read verses 7 through 12. 7 through 12. This was like a cry. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted us to be patient. Those, man, that understand that you should hold your lips. You should be not so quick to talk a lot, man. Especially if you don't have no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Then when you go to Romans chapter 9, verses 25 through 29, he's giving you a definition about what Tsabaoth really is. Paul even knew what it was. He knew that the Most High was going to fight for you. He knew he was the Lord of hosts. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 9. This is your next precept, my brothers and sisters. Except the Lord of hosts had left us, except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. Who's that small remnant? Israel. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Most High, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto what? The law of our Most High. Ye people of Gomorrah, to what purpose is the multitude of the sacrifices unto me, said the Most High? I am full of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not the blood of bullocks, or of the lambs, or of the goats. When ye come to appear before me, who have required this at your hand, to trend my courts, bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and the Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity. Even the solemn meats, your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hateth. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them, families. These are people that are coming up with events. People that sitting over here telling you that we could do this, we can go do that. The Most High got us covered. That's because you sealed. You already saved. Woo to woo. Some more stuff, families. They coming up with all types of blasphemy. Blasphemy, man. I'm talking about stuff, families, that you can't even find in scriptures to even condone to the reason of why you even have this type of power. Who gave that to you? You exalting yourself up with so much pride. With so much pride. Like you just got it made. You ain't got to keep no laws. You don't got to keep no statutes. You ain't got to keep no commandments. You barely want to keep the ordinances of the Yah. Then you telling those that's around you, man, that they ain't got to do it because it brings you death. Let's go. So why do you see all this type of stuff that's going on in reality, families? Why do you see all this stuff? Are we really ready? Or is it only Israel? The Israelites, are they the only ones that's ready? Why ain't everybody else in the world trying to prep themselves up? Why they so big up on the hype? What you so hype up for? Why you calling everything fake? Why you sitting there saying that this ain't gonna happen and that ain't gonna happen? I mean, what's gonna happen? Is it the contradiction that's coming through your mind, and then you gonna sit there and say that the Most High gave you that vision? That way you can bag it up, and you can't bag it up with no scriptures? Why ain't people making this book come to life? Why is it that only the Israelites, we the only one that's getting battered down right now by our own brothers? And y'all want to sit here and say that we just racist as heck, when you don't even see no type of, we don't really even do anything wrong. We just bring out the truth. We bring it raw and uncut. I don't get it, man. Let's go.
More students were injured this afternoon. And right now, police have detained a person of interest. Klein Forest High School is just off Bammel, North Houston, and Ritchie Road. Channel 2's Bill Barajas talked to students, and Bill, some of the kids initially thought a bomb had gone off.
That's exactly right. And today was actually the first day of school, and it didn't last very long. Most students were either picked up by their parents or got a ride home on the bus. We talked to one student who claims she was burned by some of the fireworks that went off. The chaos was caught from several different angles. The smoke clearly visible inside the cafeteria. Ivani Tristian, a junior at Klein Forest High School, says she was at lunch when the fireworks first went off.
And it popped even louder and bigger. And then I just seen the fireworks pass by my feet.
Tristian, like most students, was on her way home, but claims to have suffered minor burns to her hand.
And then it kind of burned me a little bit, but I'm good.
Many of the students telling us they feared the worst. One student even claims to have seen another student carrying the fireworks in his hands, but refused to give out his name.
Yeah, he had threw 2 fireworks and it sounded like gunshots.
Others were worried it could have been some sort of small bomb.
So they were scared. Some people were scared, and then some people got hurt and couldn't breathe because of the smoke.
The school was quickly evacuated, but students were...
Was that fake? Man, these are the children, man, first week back at school, man, after the y'all so-called pagan holiday. The everybody celebrating Janus. This they first week back. Was this fake? Was this fake? They must be some actors.
Forced to leave behind their belongings. Klein ISD says 4 students had minor injuries, but nobody had to be taken to the hospital. Investigators now using surveillance video inside the school to identify those responsible.
We do have one suspect detained. As Chief Kimberly said, we have additional suspects that we're looking for, and this is a very active investigation.
And the fire marshal's office says they are working with the Harris County DA's office to figure out what kind of charges might be filed in this case. School, meanwhile, here is scheduled to go on tomorrow. Reporting live, Bill Barajas, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
I believe, yeah, if it's over a certain amount.
Hey, sis, man, they went out there for all those, man, that sit there and talk about every single event. Families, man, they just got actors for all events, families. Actors. People want proof to go see dead bodies and everything. They show you that most of these people is up under witchcraft. For real, man. And families, it's a group of them, man. They deep, and they in the Christian community. And families, this is what I wants to know. There's a lot of people that sit there and says that they ain't Christian no more, right? They don't go to the church houses no more. So if you're not Christian, you're not an Israelite, you're not a 7-day Adventist, you ain't no what are you? What are you? You're not a you don't call yourself a children of Israel, no none of that. What are you? There's some people sit there and say, well, I'm a child of God. Well, yeah, man, no, there's a lot of gods out there. Who? Which one? Zeus, Apollo, Poseidon, Hercules, which one? Medusa? You know, I mean, like, which one? Which child of God are you from? Nimrod? Tammuz? Which one? Which one? You gotta start asking these people questions, man. Now, you can't just come up to me no more. No, since I done been in these scriptures. So was this fake? Man, children of Israel, the real Israelites. Let's come back and put in some work, man. Let's go.
We hope in you, Yahuah Tsabaoth. We look to you, Father, because you are the author and the finisher of our faith. We thank you, Abba, because you are soon to come. You have arisen already, Father, and are about the business of restoring your kingdom.
Hallelujah.
We thank you and we praise you for it in Yahushua's name. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Now, man, this is our brother, man, Moray Joshua families. Families, he's really finna agree. He ain't finna agree to play with nobody out there, families, because there's a lot of people that tell you that you don't need to know no Hebrew. Families, don't sit there and let another person tell you about your culture and what you need to know and what you don't need and what you don't need to know. Don't let nobody do that for you. For real, for real. If the Most High is trying to let you understand certain things, that's because he's letting you work on your personal salvation. That means that's the reason of why he wants you to learn some Hebrew. There's a reason. He's not telling everybody to learn no Hebrew. He's only selecting a certain few. That's why it sits there and says many are called, but only few are chosen. The Most High sits there and says that he will restore their pure language. What pure language? People don't even know what the pure language is. I bet you the Israelites do, though. Let's eat, families. Real spiritual meat. Kids, no, we don't desire milk.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praises to Yahuah, all esteem.
Hey, sis,
for the opportunity to gather and worship.
Shout out to Zion up here.
So,
man, this is a very wonderful
we're
lesson.
going to go ahead and get into this in a quick moment. Again, Yahuah Tsabaoth, which is what we were just singing about. Yep. And during this time, I just really want to encourage anybody who's here, anybody who's listening, watching, this is time of examination. You know, examine your heart. The shepherd's house is what the heart is led. Examine the heart, because when you appear before Yahuah, you have to be blameless. Blameless doesn't mean that you've done everything right, but blameless means that that you are perfect before him because you surrendered everything to him. Okay, completely immersed in his righteousness, completely immersed in his death, that you might be immersed in his resurrection. So this is a time of examination as we prepare to appear before Yahuah Tsabaoth, Yahuah of hosts, of armies, and he's going to examine each one of his soldiers, each one of his mighty ones. Hallelujah.
One second, y'all. Yeah, I should have went with my jacket. I guess it's appropriate. I keep it on. So we're gonna get into Hopefully, my lesson ain't that long, because this is really, sorry, y'all. Alright. It's really kind of a direct, understanding. It's really not, it's deep, but it's also very straightforward. So, the context is having a greater understanding of how we should move, how we should operate. We're coming in a time where the Most High, the things have been sealed in a book. And now the things that have been sealed are being unsealed. So we have to have a proper, we got to understand that during this time, there's revelations you got to catch. You know, there's things that you got to understand. There's a constant trajectory of where we're going. If you don't receive it during the time that the manna's out there, you missed it. So this is the time that we
Pause. And I'm glad that Moraes Joshua was feeling great. Before I let him get all the way into his lesson, families, he's going to tell you about Shiloh. Families, Shiloh is talking about a certain region, a certain location. And in this location, families, the Most High gave this certain particular region a name. The names are very powerful, families, when it comes down to Hebraic understanding. Some people going to sit there and say, names don't mean nothing. Best believe that, families. Hey, families, names means everything. So our brother is going to mention Shiloh. What is Shiloh in Hebrew? Not just what does Shiloh mean, but what is Shiloh in Hebrew, that pure language? Let's go. Shiloh is a figure mentioned in Hebrew Bible in Genesis chapter 49 and 10 as a part of a benediction given by Jacob to his son Judah. Jacob states that the scepter will not depart from Judah until Shiloh comes. Why did it sit there and says that the scepter would not depart from Judah until Shiloh comes? Why would it say until Shiloh comes? I thought it's supposed to mean like a church. So what does Shiloh mean in Hebrew? Sometimes it is translated as a messianic title that means he whose it is. So it's telling us that this scepter is supposed to be coming from the house of Jacob, families, to the person that it belonged to. Who come out of the tribe of Judah? Hamashiach. So why would it mention Genesis chapter 49? Why would it let you know that? Let's go there to find out before we go to our lesson. Genesis chapter 49. But he wanted us to read verses 10, right? But nah, family, you know how Israel do it. We're going to read 1 through 10. What did Jacob have to say? And Jacob, a.k.a. name meaning Israel. Let's switch that Jacob to Israel and let's see what it sounds like. And Israel called unto his sons with an S and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Now this is over at least 3,000 years ago. But why would he mention the last days and this shall befall you? Befall, what that means about befall? That means something is going to destroy you. And will you get back up? Will Jacob let him know? Let's find out. And Israel called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I might tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear. ye sons of Jacob, and hearken to Israel your father. Reuben, his first son, his firstborn son. Thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of my dignity, and the excellency of power. So this is the first tribe, Reuben. Reuben, the tribe of Reuben, this is how powerful you is. You is the beginning of Israel's strength. You is the excellency of his dignity, and you is the excellency of power. But what happened to Reuben? Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. Then defoulest thou it. He went up to my couch. Reuben, you just lost all types of faith. What about Simeon? Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their inhabitants. Now, Simeon, y'all have a problem with beefing with each other. Simeon and Levi. Why? O my soul, come now thou into their secret, unto their assembly, my honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger, not the Most High's anger, but he says, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig it down a wall. Y'all gonna tear everything they come across, y'all, man. Why are y'all like that? Cursed be their anger. That's why y'all like that. The Most High put a curse on Simeon and Levi. That's the reason why y'all have so much aggressive and y'all seem like that everything. Y'all just against everything and everybody. Watch this. Cursed be their anger, for it was furious, that their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So families, that will happen to Simeon and Levi's fate for disobeying. Judah. Now it's time for Judah. Yehudah. Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. This is what happened when we came over here across the waters. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. The Most High gonna lift us up. Why? Judah is a lion's whelp. For the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, he shall rouse him up. The Most High is trying to tell us how much power we have, families. Once Judah wake up in this hour. But a lot of people sit there and tell you, you ain't gonna find out who tribe you from. Families, it's the spirit the Most High is gonna pour upon his chosen people, man. And you gonna know exactly what tribe you came from. Check this out. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. What scepter? Nor a lawgiver from between his feet. Unto what? Shiloh come. We do know Shiloh is the Messiah. We do know they is talking about Hamashiach, Yeshua. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. That's why we waiting on him. That's why we got so much patience. That's why we got so much patience. That's why we know that when these wars come on and you hear wars and rumors of wars, ye be not troubled, because the Most High is preparing us for battle. Check this out. Biting his foes into the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his cloths in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Zebulun shall dwell in the haven of the sea, and he shall be as the haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens, and he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant to what? Tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, almost like the serpent in the garden, and adder the path that biteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shall fall backwards. People, man, you got a tribe of you got the seed of Dan that's out here, families, that's be standing in your way sometimes too, families. Families, they will be that serpent. That means that families, they will tell you all types of truth. And even Hasatan did that to Eve. Families, Hasatan would spit none but truth to you. And all he got to do is just twist up a couple of scriptures. Just put just one little itty bitty lie up in there. Families, even a little bit of truth is no truth at all. It's no truth at all, families. Once you even put just a little bit of false information up in there, you done turned all that truth. You done voided it all out. Check this out. There shall be a serpent by the way, and added in the path that biteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shall fall backwards. I have waited for thy salvation, O Most High. Gad, a truth shall overcome him, and he shall overcome at the last. This is the power of Gad. Gad, they came and they did everything to you when you was over here, which is the Aboriginal Indians. Man, Columbus came over here and just took your whole land and everything. But the Most High said there and said that y'all gonna overcome at the end. You better wake up, Gad. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful boy. Even a fruitful boy by a dwell, whose branches run over the wall. The archers has sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. At his bow about it in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty Adonai of Jacob. For thence is the shepherd, the stone of Yasharallah, even by the Most High of thy fathers, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee, with blessings of heavens above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast of thy womb. The blessings of thy fathers have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bounds of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. That's what's going on with Benjamin too, right now. For real, for real, for real. The spirit of Benjamin. People that you know good well, you the seed of Benjamin. You know that. You know that. Check this out though. All these are the 12 tribes of who? Didn't say the whole world right here, man. People gonna sit there and tell you, but it's Abraham's seed that matters, families. I don't give a care what you talking about, because in Genesis chapter 49, the Most High gave a direct order to Jacob. He told Jacob what to tell all his 12 kids. This is what creates Israel. So you can say whatever you want to say. The seed of Abraham, we are. Families, I love Father Abraham, families. But families, even Father Abraham knew there was an order shift, families. And Father Abraham was a great warrior. He was a great warrior. I bet you he didn't sit behind no computer screen. I bet you he didn't sit at his throne, didn't lift up a sword. For real, man. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it, that their father spake unto them and blessed them. Every one according to his blessings, he blessed them. And he charged them. He gave them an order, man. And said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with who? My fathers, in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim, the Hevitites, in the cave that is in the field of the Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham brought with the field of Ephraim, the Hittites, for a possession of a burying place. He fought for that place, man, where to bury him at. Gave you location and everything. Back to our lesson, families. So, families, man, all I'm basically trying to sit down and tell y'all, families, that family, we got some wonderful teachers out there. We really, really do. In Israel. Outside sources, no. Keeping it real. People gonna sit there and tell me, well, Perry Stone, families, if Perry Stone ain't talking about Israel, then don't watch Perry Stone. If Perry Stone ain't telling you to prepare for war, then you ain't got no reason to listen to Perry Stone. If Perry Stone tells you that every war that's out here, families, is fake, I don't think you need to be listening to Perry Stone. I'm just saying Perry Stone for an example. I don't even listen to Perry Stone. It's just that I see a lot of people, man, that talk about Perry Stone. My families, I'm not that quick to go run into doctrines like that, man. Especially if I don't know the brother or sister. And if you ain't talking about Israel, I surely ain't gonna listen to you, man. It is what it is, families. A lot of people sit here and talk about a lot of gods, man. But families, in this lesson right here, we're gonna understand the true name. He just ain't gonna get into name. He gonna show you how powerful names are. And you don't know who you might be calling on. And when you think you getting blessings, a lot of people sit there and say, Most High gave me this and the Most High told me that. Families, when it come down to what I've been learning, when a lot of people sit there, you listen to people. When they say that a lot, families, you got the true living Most High, and then you got that so-called Most High with a little g of this earth. I think they be calling on that person a lot. They just ain't said his name. But I think it's Satan, Hasatan.
Trying to get that, receive that, and move into the next level. So real fast, we get into this. Updates. I'm going to remind y'all about Passover 2020. So if you haven't registered, please do soon. I think it's on March 1st, cutoff or something like that, deadline. And we have to have everybody registered to be able to get it done. It's a 5-day conference. Passover dinner. All the details on rebirthforthenation.info. Yeah. I think its name is this website, rebirthforthenation.info. So you can go to rebirthforthenation.info and get that information. So again, if you haven't registered for Passover, please do, because it's very important. So anyway, we're going to get right into this. So y'all see the time that we in. This is the thing. What people got to understand is this. The stuff we're seeing right now, and I done said this before, I've really been saying this for a long time. So, Mo been saying this for a long time. I see my man, Malu, posted a verse he had from a song he did 2 years ago. We've been saying this for a long time, right? That this time is gonna come, and this time is upon us. I seen that allegedly Trump did a press conference and said how they gonna back down, and that he gonna try to have peace. When they say peace, then what?
Sudden destruction.
Sudden destruction. So this is where we at. If you can't discern this, then it's gonna catch you off guard. If it catch you off guard, you might die. Because remember, the Mashiach is gonna come like what? A thief in the night. So he's only a thief to those that are asleep. Because those who don't stay up in the watches, right? Those who don't discern the time. So you have to know and discern what time that we in. So again, we've been talking about this for 4 or 5 years. About how this time will come and that this time is here. This war ain't going nowhere, it's just getting started. And when you see these things, you have to understand that first of all, the writers tell you to look up for your redemption is nigh. And you have to discern that with every time there's a move with the nations, there's a move in the spiritual realm. Say it again. Anytime there's a move in the nation, there's a move in the spiritual realm. So that means that there's something moving in the spiritual realm. If you read Daniel, during the first Babylonian captivity, you're going to see that, and then you see the angel Gabriel, who was sent to Michael during that time period, and he talked about how there was wars going on with them. He had to fight the Prince of Persia, and there was infighting, right? And when these things was happening, you see the nations were being shaken, or the powers were being shaken. Because he said after this, he had to go and fight with who? The king of Greece. Yeah. So after Persia fell, who rose up? Greece. So it's a constant fighting of power structures and peoples. This is the reason why we still at the bottom, because Yahuwah's name hasn't been exalted yet. When our people are regathered as one people again, then Yahuwah's name is going to be exalted. He's going to be raised up like that, like the serpent in the wilderness. That's why he says that if he be lifted up, he'll do what? Right? So how was he lifted up? He's lifted up through his people. His name was exalted the first time through what? His people. Through the exploits that he did with them, how he drove, he brung them out. It made his name, even though his name was already great, but it made his name great in the earth amongst men, right? And we live in a world of men. So when we're looking at this is what the time. So you're seeing this thing with Iran going on. It's showing you that the prince of the European world powers is falling. Exactly. Babylon is falling. It's falling. And so when you see that, you have to understand that there's a new method that you have to operate in. When we talked about the context of taking off the old garments and putting on the new garments. So there's a new set of garments that you have to put on to be able to function in this time. We're going to get into that in a second. So I'm just going to give y'all some quick updates of stuff I've been sharing with some people that's in the assembly. Y'all might not have heard how this thing is going to directly affect you. These are articles from past time. This is all the way back from 1979. Anatola Rudolph Khomeini. So Khomeini right now is the same Khomeini then. Right? Yesterday ordered the release of immediate deportation of women and blacks amongst the 70 hostages that held at the American embassy since its seizure 2 weeks ago by the Iranian militant. So the first time that I don't know if y'all seen that movie. It's a movie about it. I forget the name of the movie, but it's about that hostage crisis. Huh? Nah, it's not that. I forget what it's called. But anyway, it's about that hostage crisis. So the people that they released were blacks and women. And the context from Ayatollah Khomeini was, it is another article, he said how blacks was already oppressed. So he allowed them to go. I'm just giving y'all some quick things about the Iranian mindset. Remember last time I gave you the Russian mindset. These are the two nations that we're dealing with. Matter of fact, I sent an article to Ima this week about how Russia has been sent new missiles, like a missile defense system to Iran in preparation of what's about to happen. So when you see this, go ahead.
That quote that you saying is, he said that blacks are already oppressed in their own country. They didn't come to fight against us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we seeing this. We see.
All right, families. Now, what Moray is trying to sit there and say is, what Josh is trying to sit there and say right now, family, is that family. There's a lot of countries out there that know that most Negroes, families, black is just a color, man. It's something that they gave you, families. Something that they gave you. Then you had Jesse Jackson just threw it all out there, families. Just he just sat there and just he was just a talker for all of us. Man, how dare him, man? And then we accepted it, man. We ain't really Negro. You know what I'm saying? We Israel. That's who we are. They gave us these names, families. But the Most High Yah, he gave you a name. He told you what your name was going to be. He told you what your name was going to be. And people is taking you away from that stuff. They taking you away from certain meanings. They taking you away from certain understandings. Now, family, certain these countries knew that most of the Negroes, the lost children of Israel, they not doing what most of these other nations are doing. Most of these other heathen nations are doing. Why? Because they are already oppressed. Same thing goes with Hitler. Families, Hitler sat there and says that if America comes against us, families, we cannot have America because they have to see they has the Most High's precious jewels. They had God's precious jewel. Why would Hitler sit there and say that if he was already killing so-called Jewish people in Germany? Why would them Nazis sit there and say that America cannot come into this war? I want to know if they were saying that war was fake. I want to know if they were saying was that war fake back then. Because you got a lot of these youngsters saying there's a lot of war is fake right now. But families, man, we got a lot of casualties, man. Well, won't you show me a body? Who are you? Who are you? And how disrespectful, man, for you to want to sit there and look at somebody else's just to prove a point and then want to put it on a live. I'm trying to tell you, man, people will do anything for views. For views. Listen, man. These cats out here, man, are tripping. They coming up with excuses for why they comment section is turned off and want to know why YouTube done turned off their comment section. They want to sit here and want to know why they ain't got no live chat. Families, my chat has been going on just fine. I might not have 300, 400, 600 people that come in my room. But families, I can tell you one thing. This is not meant for kids. Not meant for families, children. I don't want no child. Where your daddy at? Your daddy need to be teaching you right now. And since you up in here and your daddy ain't up in here, you need to tell your daddy where I'm at. He need to be up in here getting some of this real juice, some of this real spiritual meat. Where he at? How you up in here and your daddy ain't up in here? It's deep, man. It's something to think about, family. And for number two, families, I don't go out here posting up rated R movie clips, rated R, and then sitting there saying that this is for kids. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel what I'm saying? Sitting there saying that this is for kids. Most of these people who have a big platform, half of their audience are children, man. And most of them are like super old with a childlike mindset. They easily to be persuaded, man. They just believe any scriptures that a person throw at them, and not coming up with the true interpretation or meaning behind the scriptures. Like, come on, my brothers and sisters. That's an ordership behind the Most High Yah, man. That's for real, man. Other than that, I don't know what type of Bible you or who teaching you in this hour, man. Let's continue.
The mentality that they have towards us, and the alliance of nations, that's coming against this nation, where they at. Even France done pulled out of this war. Go ahead.
I think it was this week. Russia just made an alliance, a covenant with Turkey.
Right.
Because of their mutual disagreements with the United States. So yeah, it's a confederacy that's developing in the East.
Let me show you something real fast. If I can pull it up. Probably ain't gonna be able to do it in time. I gotta find that specific scripture.
They are
what you talking about right now?
They
right
wasn't given that truth in their era. But now we have an opportunity to learn. Why aren't we doing everything in our power to understand the true meaning of the hour? You know those that's serious and those that's playing around. You can tell it's easily. You got the discernment to see that. Now that is what I truly call
Jeremiah 51
spiritual judgment.
Start at verse 24. Again, we've been talking about this stuff forever. Turkey has always they've been attempting to be Switzerland, if you know what I mean by that. Switzerland is neutral. So they've been trying to be neutral for the longest. Now they're coming in on this whole thing. These are the alliance of nations. But let's look at that Jeremiah 51. I'm going to start at verse 24. I will render to Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion, against us, right? In your sight, saith Yahuah. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahuah, which destroyeth all the earth. So this is one nation that destroys and goes to war with all the other nations on the earth. I will stretch out my hand upon thee until I roll thee down from the rocks. I will make thee like a burning mountain. They shall shake it. They shall not take of thee a stone for a corner. This is the reason why we know we're talking about this current power structure. Because when this power structure falls, the other nations are not gonna have nothing else to do with it, because they tired of the oppression. If you go read Isaiah, Isaiah says that he prophesies, says when you fail, nobody else has risen up against us. In other words, nobody else has oppressed us since you fail. We are oppressing nations all over the world. Military bases all over the world, in almost every region of the world. Again, they ain't gonna set up a song. They're not gonna take anything from this culture once it falls. They should not take up a stone leaf for a corner, nor for a stone foundation, but thou should be desolate forever, saith Yahuah. Set up the standard in the land, blow the trumpet, Malachi, blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her, Arad, Turkey. Turkey. Many, which is to say that's in the same area of Turkey. Ashkenaz, Germany, right? You even say some of the territories with Eurasia, right? Bleeding over.
Like Ukraine.
Yeah, like Ukraine.
Yeah.
Appoint a captain against her and all her horses to come up as rough caliper. So he's telling you that's that alliance. So not only is it Persia, because we read on down, it already talked about Persia, but it's also going to be Arad and Mini. That's Turkey. So now you see Turkey on aligned with them. You see, if you read the Apocrypha, it says, woe unto you, Babylon. It says, and Asia. Now you see Asia in the mix. These are the alliances. You see North Korea lining up. You see China lining up. They're doing joint exercises. So if you can't discern these things, if you don't see what's happening, this is the reason why I tell people all the time, don't worry about trying to teach this to people that don't want to hear it. Because what's going to happen is things are going to be so scary for people that's not ready. They're going to run to you.
Yeah.
A lot of us in the streets, that's all we worried about. When the bombing hit here, anybody gonna worry about being on the streets and being no gangsters no more. No. When rockets blow up something, or they blow up a football stadium or something, because it's gonna be something like that. I'm telling y'all, it's coming. Mark my words, it's coming. When that stuff happen, anybody gonna worry about that stuff no more. Anybody worry about what's going on Twitter and on Facebook when that stuff go down. People be running for their life. Scripture says that men's hearts are gonna fail them for fear for these things that's coming down. So, and that's one thing that Iran just warned. Iran just warned that. Sorry about this cough. That they're going to the next couple of attacks that they're gonna do is gonna be. They said they're gonna try to do it like on American soil. Yeah. So these things. This is the war. They end all wars. This is the slaughter of kings. That's what this is. So when you see this, when you said about Turkey, again, that's Jeremiah 51:27. Prepare against other nations with who? The Iranians, the Medes. So now they're all aligned with what nation? The Iranians. This whole alliance is cruxed off Iran. Arad Mini, Turkey, the King of the North, Russia. Like I said, go back to the Apocrypha, Asia, North Korea, and China. They all aligned because of the kings of the Medes. Yeah. So this is where we at right now. And the land shall tremble for the sorrow for every purpose of Yahuah should be performed against Babylon, to make Babylon a desolation and without inhabitants. The mighty men of Babylon are forborn to fight. They have remained in their holds. So when this thing come, we ain't even going out. But the thing that's going to hit America is going to be terror within, sword without. Say it again. It's going to be terror within, sword without. It's going to be chaos. It's probably going to be some type of civil unrest, civil war type stuff that's going down. It's all around the corner. It's here. Because the powers of heaven have been shaken. We're going to tell y'all why in a second. The mighty men are forborn. They have become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Their balls are broken. One post shall meet the other. If you read in the context, you'll see what all this stuff means. I done said this a long time ago. I taught this whole thing 5 years ago. But don't be surprised when the lights go out. Because that's coming. Right, it's coming. That's the reason why Isaiah says, get thee in the darkness. Right? This is why somebody will have a post will have to run from one end to another, because they can't call you on the phone. Mm-hmm. One post shall run to meet another. One messenger shall meet another to show the king of Babylon that the city is taken at one end. Do you know that the original Babylon, when it fell,
they didn't know.
Yeah, Belshazzar didn't even know that the kingdom had failed. Somebody had to come and tell him that the kingdom was taken. He was sitting up in the palace, and then he almost due to himself.
Hey,
literally. Go ahead.
Why didn't they know the palace that the city was taken? Because they were drunk.
Right.
What is Babylon got the whole world?
Drunk. And also high.
Yeah.
Revelation. That's what Yahuah, he said it, man. He said that they said she deceived the world through pharmacies.
Yeah.
That word, literally, that's what it means. Pharmakia. Pharmacy. She deceived the whole world through pharmacy. The whole world are going opioids and all this other nonsense and all these other pills. And they drugged up, they drunk, and they watching TV, which is another form of being drunk. Brainwash. For Yahuah, now let's get to the point. And the passages are stopped. And the reeds, they burn with fire. The men of war are frightened. That's the reason why we were joking about this the other day. People on Facebook, black people say, I ain't going to this war. I ain't fighting this war. Yeah. We tapping out on this war. Because they know this is the war to end all wars. Yeah. For this is
Yahuah Tsabaoth.
Yahuah Tsabaoth. Yahuah Tsabaoth. This is the reason why Babylon is falling. Because of Yahuah Tsabaoth. You have to understand Yahuah Tsabaoth in this time and understand how it relates to nations falling and nations rising. The planting and destruction of kingdoms. You got to understand why the Most High called himself that. The Most High don't just be calling himself certain things just to be calling himself that.
No.
It's a purpose. We're going to see there's a purpose directly behind that. And Yahuah, we know that Yahuah is Yahuah Tsabaoth, but we're going to see why he calls himself that, and there's a different function with it. Whole different function. So we in that era, and this is what the Most High revealed to me. This is really what I should call this. I should have called this lesson the age of Yahuah Tsabaoth. We are now officially in the age of Yahuah Tsabaoth. For thus says Yahuah Tsabaoth, the Elohim of who? So Yahuah Tsabaoth is the Elohim. The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It's time to thresh her. Boy, that's deep right there. You could just say lie and stop right there. You could just say lie and stop right there. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Yahuah Tsabaoth. The Yahuah Tsabaoth that said that, he's risen. This is his time. We're in the time of Yahuah Tsabaoth. It's time. Babylon is a threshing floor, and it's time to thresh her. Yet a little while, in the time of harvest, shall do what? Come on, man, y'all still asleep. Come. Why? Because Yahuah Tsabaoth has returned. Like, I hate to use the term return, but it's the best way I can get it to you. He's returned. This is the age. It has started. It has begun. I don't know if you ever watched Mortal Kombat. It has begun. Mm-hmm. It has begun. Do y'all remember a couple of months back when I told you that I was praying and what came to me and said, this is the beginning of sorrows? So this is where we at. It's not the beginning of sorrows for those that are awake. Because they take joy in it. They understand that their redemption is not. But those that don't, Yahuah Tsabaoth is going to come to them like a thief in the night and slay them in the middle of the night. Two going to be in the bed, one taking the other left. Two going to be in the field, one taking the other left. Because they can't discern this time. For thus said Yahuah Tsabaoth, the Elohim of Israel, the daughter of Babylon. Not Babylon. You got to listen closely. The Most High hides stuff in text, and people just read and keep reading. How is this the daughter of Babylon? How is Babylon the daughter of Babylon? Don't even make sense. So now he's going to a future time, a future tense. The daughter of Babylon is a threshing floor. It's time to thresh her. Yet a little while, the time of a harvest shall come. Nebuchadnezzar, that goes back to the current time. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, has devoured me. He have crushed me. He have made me an empty vessel. He has swallowed me up like a dragon. He has filled his belly with delicacies. He have cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. What? The slaughter of kings. They're going to be consumed. But it's going to be certain ones, like I told you, that's going to do what? They're going to eat the meat. They're going to consume them. It is the slaughter of kings and the consumption of kings. You are what you eat. The violence is done to me, and to my flesh going to be upon Babylon. The inhabitant of Zion shall say, my blood. The inhabitant of who? The inhabitant of who? So not the whole world.
Yeah.
So this whole thing about Babylon ain't got nothing to do with other nations. This destruction that's coming ain't got nothing to do with other nations. The other nations are by proxy oppressed by the downfall or the fall of our people. Right? That's the reason why the scripture says that the foundations are out of course. He's telling you that this is because of Babylon. Again, the violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitant of Zion say. And my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. Therefore saith Yahuah, behold, I'll plead thy...
Hey, pause, man. We got one of our wonderful brothers in the building. Kwam Yasharala Shalom, King. Well, I am. How you doing, my brother? How you doing, King? It's good to see you, bruh. Hey, families, man. We gotta give King Well I Am just some pointers to what's going on right now. Just because we know he just came in, but he can't be missing none of these classes. Let's go. All right, bro. We finna give you a recap to where we at right now. All right, my brother. We is going over the Most High Tsabaoth, which we call Yahuah Tsabaoth. Tsabaoth means the Elohim of armies, or the God of armies, or what you will find in the scriptures almost 282 times. You will see the Lord of hosts, meaning the Lord of armies, or the Lord of battles, the military might of the Most High. Now, my brother, we done went over 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. That's your first precept. Then, my brother, you will take that precept and you will take it to Romans chapter 9, verses 25 through 29. Then the Most High is showing us how he is the Lord of hosts that preserve us. He deliver us. You will take that to Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 5. That means that he made a promise to deliver us, to preserve us. Then the Most High will battle the wicked for us. You will find that one in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Your next precept to that one, my brother, is to show you how the Most High battles the obstacles for you. And he used a foemother for us that made one of the most greatest prophet for Israel. And she named his name Samuel. Her name was our foemother. Her name was Hannah. You will find that in 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 11. We didn't read that one though, bro. We didn't read that one. So Paul knew what Tsabaoth actually really meant. So when he went out there to teach the Gentiles about that, he went out there and he actually used the word Tsabaoth, and he kept it in his Greek translation. And people do not know. If you don't look up the Hebrew word for that, you're not going to know what that means. But people tell you that you ain't supposed to know no Hebrew. If you do not look up this word in its Hebrew meaning, you would not even know what this word meant. Let's go. Then your next precept will be the book of James, chapter 5. And you'll read verses really 1 through 9. But we read verses we read verses 5 through 6, and then we jumped down to 7 and 9. You know, we just gave you the straight body blows on that one. Then, my brother, we went to the book of Genesis because there was a message from Jacob to his 12 sons. Jacob, name is Israel. His name is Israel. And he left a message to every last one of their sons, to every last one of his sons, that if they do not hear him, These are your blessings and these are your curses. So we went there to prove to those that if you do not believe in karma, what they call blessings and curses, then you doing witchcraft. You doing witchcraft. We proved that what goes around will come around. And that's in the first book of Genesis, chapter 49, verses 1 through 10. That's witchcraft. Our last verse that we will read, families, is a message. The Most High left a message to Isaiah to give to Israel, to the house of Jacob. And that is Isaiah chapter 58. And you'll read 1 through 14. We ain't even read that yet. But the Most High is telling us to cry aloud. Who he's telling to cry aloud? He's telling Israel. And he's telling us don't spare no one. Because he's not going to spare no one. If you do not understand his power behind his name and behind his characteristics of him, families, then families, you will not hear that trumpet, man. You're not going to be prepared for war. Children do not need to teach in this hour. If you're not trying to prepare for war, you do not need to be a teacher. But you know what, though? My brother is teaching me at this hour that we supposed to prepare ourselves up so we can protect those that are not able to protect themselves. If you're not able to protect yourself, I don't think you need to be teaching nothing. You need to take heed to the spiritual meat. But in order for you to take heed to the spiritual meat, you got to get off the milk first. You got to get out the milk. That means that what most people don't do, you have to do it. Who said that and said you ain't supposed to do something just because you see 200, 300, 400 something people that do it? Number 4, my brother, we've been going over how everybody is telling you about these fake wars. My brother, when you read Matthew chapter 24, he literally tells you you will hear wars and rumors of wars. But families, ain't everything fake. That's why I showed you that school, the kids, they first week in school, back to school. And they already acting crazy. In the beginning of these pagan people New Year, which is in January, but we call it Janus. But the New Year is what me and beautiful Queen Jacqueline put in there, a build, which you will find in March, the first beginning of spring. Okay, my brothers and sisters. Also, for people that's been mind warped out here, man. Families, if you is giving out any type of rated R music or videos, and you is labeling that for kids, YouTube is going to turn off all your crap. Everything. They're going to turn it off. If you can't take your child, your little boy or little girl, to no rated R movie outside in this world, what make you think you're going to be able to do it on this worldwide platform? That's how so many people got so many subscribers like they got right now. Playing all this rated R stuff and kids just watching your stuff that you knew, and then want to condone it that it is fit for what's fit for is for you, and then you go train your child, and that's where we at right now, my brother. So you got a lot of people that's sitting there telling you that if you see, bro, you can go to any Israelite community right now. We got our chat up and we got our comment section up. Why? Because these is not meant for kids. It's meant for adults, man. We train our children. We don't have our children to go sit in a grown folks table, man. Who do that? Those that don't take care of their own kids, man. Either they ain't got no kids, they not taking care of their own kids, or they a sorry parent. One or the other. So if they fit any one of them categories, then what are they going to do for you when it's time for war? They're going to flee, man. they will run.
Cause I will take vengeance for thee. I will dry up her sea, and make her springs dry. Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons. The words, unclean spirits, an astonishment and a hissing and without inhabitant. So y'all get the context. I ain't got to keep going on that. So this is where we at right now. Says Yahuah Tsabaoth. Babylon is falling. She's a threshing floor. It's time to thresh her, right? So when the reaper comes, the thresh, will you be sleeping or will you be awake? Will he catch you like a thief in the night? Will he slay you in the bed? Will you be the one taken? Gotta understand these things. Women and blacks offer, like I said, free to Iran. I'm gonna give you some other articles about how this thing gonna go down. This is from 2015. Iran invites black Americans to discrimination conference. You don't know, this is from Times Israel, by the way. You don't think that America know this stuff and the comments they done made about black Americans? Let's keep going. Iranian leader, U.S. oppresses his black population. This is Khomeini. This is also from 2015. This is when they made that nuclear deal, right? These kind of things that they be saying. It's real fast, just going through some stuff. How Iran's Ahmadinejad found meaning in rap.
His favorite rapper.
That's our Iranian president.
His favorite rapper, Tupac.
His favorite rapper is Tupac. This is all stuff. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Yeah.
Let me show you a tweet from Ahmadinejad, because they blocked him on Facebook. They blocked him on Twitter. One of the main objectives of the Black Panther Party was feeding the hungry. This is what Ahmadinejad, president of Iran, said. Which did not sit well with the hashtag United States government. Hashtag Brother Huey. Hashtag October 15th. Then he quotes Tupac. It's time to fight back what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark. Now Huey's dead.
Favorite rapper.
Ahmadinejad, former president of Iran. So we look at these things. This is like when I played y'all the video of Russia and they singing that song when they saying "Sleep on, Negroes." Right. There's a shifting in the guard. There's a shifting in the earth. There's a binding that's going on in heaven that's going to be bound on the earth. Because things have to be bound in the heaven. That's what my mom was talking about earlier. Before they can be bound on earth. So when we're looking at these things, we see that the powers are falling. That Babylon is falling. And when we look at these things, like if we went back to Jeremiah 51, and we ain't got time to do all that. But if you went through Jeremiah 51, you will see that when it says that when Babylon falls, it says Israel and Judah go back. They axe the way to Zion. They axe the way. Is that a helicopter?
Yeah.
Good Lord. I know they're coming, right?
We got it.
Ahmadinejad, yeah. By the way, that's a doggone chopper. Anyway, so the funny thing is this. Ahmadinejad is the most hardcore Iranian president of all time. He would go to the UN and he would say the most hardcore stuff in front of everybody. Like I remember one time he went to the UN and he stood up. He said the Holocaust was made up, and then he said Israel is a menace and America's the great Satan. And he said we're gonna wipe Israel off the face of the earth. He said it to the UN. That's gangster right there. That's gangster. He did that and then sat down. That's the reason why they blocked him on Twitter and Facebook. So saying all that to say this, we see things falling into place, right? What I'm trying to get you to understand that all these things was done for a specific reason. Again, the same things play itself over and over again. Impeachment vote in the House delayed as Clinton. Remember, the impeachment vote was delayed. The first one was the indictment. They were trying to go with the second indictment. Impeachment vote in the House delayed as Clinton launches Iraq airstrike. The airstrike was where? In Iraq, even though it was about Iran. It's like the same thing. We just seen it all over again. Citing military need to move swiftly. They don't do nothing new. If you ain't seen this movie before, you ain't no hope for you. It really ain't no hope for you. If you didn't see them do this in Iraq twice, And then they did it in Afghanistan. They're doing the same thing all over again. But all these things must needs be. This is the reason why in Revelation it says that the whore rides the beast, but the 7 heads of the beast hate the whore.
Yeah.
And they burn her with fire. Because they're tired of the whore's oppression. They fed up, they tired. Now let's get into this, y'all. Let's look at this.
All right, pause. Now, families, this is how Brother Moray made me go back to my precepts, and that's why I gave y'all the precepts that I got right there, families. Families, the Most High will lead you to certain precepts that will give you more precepts, and more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And families, this is about the Most High's military might. If you don't think that your Most High, your Creator, will fight for you, then what type of God are you serving? What type of Elohim do you really have? How do he truly preserve you? How do he battle the wicked for you? How do he overcome obstacles just for you? If you don't understand the true meaning behind his name other than just calling him God, then who are you searching for? What is his name? What is his son's name? Can thou tell? Are we going to be able to know the Most High's name, families, when we go into that wilderness? Families, you want me to tell you something? Those that make it in that wilderness, best believe they're going to know the Most High's name. And they're going to know his son's name. And they're going to know that new song. Families, that new song, families, is a function. My brother is teaching me. He's teaching me things that anybody that taught like this, trust me, they have been under a Hebrew teacher. And families, you have a lot of those that left Christianity. They come and steal our Hebrew teachings, and they flip it to fit their means and their congregation. They flip it, man. They will steal our Hebrew teachings. They will come to you and flip it. This is where spiritual judgment, spiritual discernment comes in at. You have to understand these signs. You have to understand these things. So when you have certain people that sit here and tell you about why something is happening to me, and is you really making it seem like that a lot of things is happening to you. Really now. What make you so special other than the rest of Israel? You don't even claim yourself as Israel. So what make you so special? And you don't even claim yourself as an Israelite or a children of Israel. You say you're a child of God. That's why I sit there and say, families, you must ask these people what God you serve. The God of the Bible. What Bible? You got the book of Kabbalah? You got the Talmud? You got all these false Bibles. What Bible? The Bible that we got. Well, what's the Most High's name in that Bible? What do he call himself? He gave you so many names to show you the function of him. But if you haven't been taught correctly, you wouldn't know that. And some families they stealing our teachings, man. I've been seeing it out here. They stealing it. And they twisting it. And families, they feeding it to a big congregation. A big one. That's why I showed y'all for my last precept. I hope my brother touch on at least any one of them precepts that I have, families. Because he helped me out. I hope that's part of his teachings, man. Because families, these are powerful precepts about the Lord of hosts. You find it 282 times in your scriptures. What do that mean? We're going to find out, man.
Revelation 19, 12 through 15. In his eyes, this is Yahushua returning. His eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but himself. It was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. By the way, that's Isaiah, 66?
Yeah.
He was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Elohim. And let me ask you a question. When he returns, why does he have a name that nobody knows? Say again? Nobody knows the word. That's true too. Why does he have, but also, why would he have a name that nobody knows? Say again?
One that's not defiled.
My bad, man. That's crazy. That sounds like a special effect on a movie. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking like one that's not defiled in reference to like how, not that we have defiled it, but like people will hear it. Like I've had someone scoff at Yahushua's name when I try to give it.
Right. Well, see if you can lift it up without it going off. Can you hold the mic? Let me just turn that mode down.
Which one? Turn it down.
Well, you good. You stand right there, you straight.
Yeah.
So go ahead and say it again.
I was saying, so because a name that's not defiled, and not that it's defiled by us, even though possibly it's defiled by us too, but like I've given Yahushua, spoken it to someone, and they scoffed at and mocked his name before. So I was thinking in reference to him having a name that nobody has defiled.
All right, so both of those are great answers, and they tie into this.
Ye are Elohim.
Huh?
Ye are Elohim.
The reason why he has a name that nobody knows, and then he says that you eventually have a name that nobody knows. So what does that mean, right? Because name doesn't mean letters, right? Your name is your purpose, your character, and your calling. Purpose, character, calling. So when Yahushua returns, he's in a different mode. He has a different thing to execute. That's why he has a different name, because nobody knows. It says what? Eye hasn't seen nor ear heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of men what he has what? Prepared. So there's a whole other calling in it. Remember he says, behold, I'll do what? A new thing. So the thing that he comes to do is associated with that name. Now you are into what? A new thing. Yeah. You're put back into the priesthood. So now you have a new name. That don't necessarily mean you're gonna have a different name. That means you're gonna have a different purpose, a different calling, and a different function.
Operating under a different authority.
Say it again.
Operating under a different authority.
Operating under a different authority.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look into that, and we'll show you multiple instances in the script where that happens, right? So sometimes it could be a whole different name. Sometimes it's not a whole different name. Sometimes it's just a pronunciation of the function of what that name is gonna be. So let's look at that. We know that the Most High name is Yahuah, but Yahuah has many names.
Yeah.
Yahuah Eloheinu, Yahuah Elohai, Yahuah Nisi, Yahuah Zakanu, right? Yahuah Gabor, Yahuah Goel, right? What are these names talking about?
What function he's going to
Function. So all these names are attributed to a certain function in the earth. So when Yahuah returns, because nobody really knows, even though we understand through prophecy, I haven't seen no ear heard what the order is actually going to be and look like. So nobody knows that name. Nobody can comprehend it. You can't even comprehend what you're going to do or what you're going to be. So you have a name, you have another function that's coming that nobody knows. We can know about it, we can read about it, we can read the prophecies, but we can't fully understand. What it shall say has not yet appeared what we shall be. But we know when we appear, we're going to be like him. Yeah. He has a new name, you have a new name. Yeah. You have a new function. You in a new order. You have a new authority.
Yeah. When it's wartime, you many Tsabaoth.
Eloheinu, Elohai, Nisi, Zakanu, Gilboa, Goel. So let's look at this. You got to understand that function. Yahuah Tsabaoth. It's a reason why he chose that name. When you look at certain text in the script, there's a specific function with this name. It's the same reason why we call Yahusha, right? Because when we say that name, we're talking about his function, and we're proclaiming it to be. We're speaking it into the atmosphere. We're speaking it into the spiritual realm, and when we speak that name into the spiritual realm, there has to be, the name can't be void. So it's no coincidence that during this time we're proclaiming that name and we see the salvation underway. Right? This is the reason why they changed the name. Right? Because they understand the power of names. I mean, if you even when you in the church, I grew up apostolic, but that's all they talk about is the name. You know, it's the wrong name. It's like the name. Right? So, say it again. They changed ours when they brought it. They even changed it the first time they went to Babylon. Changed their names then. And even with that name, even we know the Most High heard us, even though we were saying the wrong name, it still had a different, it created what? A different purpose and a different function in us. You need battery.
I got you. Hold on.
So even though we were saying the Most High heard us, right? Because he didn't abandon us because we didn't know his name. There was a certain authority we couldn't move in because we had the wrong name. So we had the ability, right? You got to pop. This is like a pop top. She probably can't stop. So we had the ability to call on him and he would move on our behalf. But when we were speaking the name, we wasn't speaking for what? Salvation. So how could we be saved under that name? Ain't no way could we not asking for salvation. You have not because you what? You ask not. So when you do in vain. So the Most High was hearing us in that we were seeking him, he was answering us, he was leading us, but that name is not associated, that name, let me break this down like this. That name is associated with spirituality. It's associated with the heavens to affect the earth. So in that time period, because we were seeking the Most High, we were seeking righteousness, but we wasn't speaking to the heavens to affect our situation in the earth. Right? So we were seeking the Most High. We believed in him. We believed in the name. He was hearing us. He was delivering us at times. But that name really is, go back to that Yahuah Goel, the Redeemer. That name is tied into the redemption of the nation. We weren't proclaiming that. We weren't putting that in the atmosphere. We weren't speaking, and I hate to use the term frequency, but it's the truth. There is a certain frequency with these things. When you speak those things into being, you're speaking it into the earth. The Most High creates things. We created the world by what? Speech. Word. Every last thing in the earth has a frequency. Everything. So you're speaking. This is the reason why we play music and we give praise. This is why Yahuah goes up with a shout. Right? Because when we call him, we create the atmosphere. Through what? Speech. Through volume, through waves, not in no weird witchcraft way, but that's just the science behind it. That's what happens. So when we're looking at it like this, the context is the name had a meaning. So now we're projecting the function of the name. We just had the spirit behind the name, right? We wasn't actually using it in what? Its proper function. So it's the same thing with Lord of Hosts. The Lord of Hosts. Sing a song, the Lord of Hosts. Sing all these songs or whatnot. That's not what that word is taught. Like, that frequency to that that terminology has no covenant meaning. Yeah. Go ahead.
So basically, what you're saying is that when we speak His name, it there's an authority over all creation.
Right.
That goes out with His name.
Right.
And so when His name was taken away, it's not that He didn't see and hear us or respond to us at times, but what it does is it allows the enemy to now have a foothold where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're saying the Lord, Jesus, all these things that are not His name, there isn't authority over. It can't purify your area.
Right.
It can't purify your atmosphere because we're not speaking in authority. Because He, so like you said, everything happened. Everything was spoken into existence by Yahuah. So I mean, it existed in His ruach. And then He manifested in the earth with His words and with His right hand. And so for us, His salvation, again, it's already, it says that the Lamb was slain at the foundation of the earth.
Right.
So it's already happened spiritually. So the order is that in order for it to take hold physically, it has to manifest spiritually.
Right.
So our words have to reflect what's happened spiritually.
That's right. That's right.
So if we truly serve Yahuah Tsabaoth, then Yahuah Tsabaoth's gonna come out of our mouth.
That's right.
That's why even when people speak in tongues, a lot of times it's if you become familiar with Hebrew, you start hearing familiar things.
Right.
Because it's stuff from His mind that's already existed spiritually, and now it's manifesting physically. In the same way that the heavens and the earth and the order that we exist in right now was in His mind.
Right.
And then He spoke it, and then it was.
Right.
I just wanted to say that the spiritual realm is a place where laws are kept.
Right.
And you have to do things lawfully. If you're writing a contract in this realm, and in the contract is between two parties, and you say the verbiage you use is, and then party A must do this and party B.
Pause. All right, now, families, man. Now, you remember when I was trying to sit there and tell everybody, families, which almost all Israelites right now is trying to tell everybody right now, families, those that call themselves a Israelite. Only Yasharallah speaking like this at this moment, families. That families, it takes blood to make a covenant, families. Can't everything be fake out here, families, man, when they need casualties of war. They need casualties, man. Some of these cats ain't ready to hop off the porch, man. That's why they spreading all this. It's fake love. That's why the Most High wants you to love thy neighbor, man, that's within the nations. But families, man, we vex each other on a daily basis. You could barely even sit in a room with another Israelite, man, that claim themselves an Israelite, and you, whatever type of denomination you supposed to be, you really Israel. You just don't claim yourself as Israel at this moment. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I heard y'all was a race group. Man, you racist. How you racist? We all racist. How? Because we hate evilness, man. You hate wickedness. Ain't that being racist? Yes. So you can't sit there and say you ain't racist, man. If you hate wickedness, you, trust me, families, I'm very racist when it comes down to evilness, wickedness, lies, deceit, deception, murder. I'm very racist when it comes down to that. Very. I'm that. I will be that. You get what I'm saying? Now, families, man, there's certain laws that you have to obey in the spiritual realm. That's why I don't understand why people is not prepping themselves up in this hour. What you see in this physical realm, you need to get out of that mindset, man. You need to get out of that. You gonna die. This ain't no game, man. People is not lining up things with prophecy. No, none of that. They think everybody is an actor. They don't believe in blessings and curses. That means what goes around come around, which is AKA karma. People just don't believe him. But you got all this faith. And the Ruach HaKodesh has been on you and been showing you mysteries every single day. Families, my teachers don't even do lives like that. They don't come on every day like that. Families, there's people out here that do a live every single day, and the Most High talk to them daily. Been showing them all types of mysteries. The Most High don't show me this, that. I never been around nobody, man, the Most High talk to you so much. I'm surprised you ain't Hamashiach. For real. Every day. On a worldwide platform. Something to think about, my brothers and sisters. It's something to think about. Man, I speak against all wickedness, man. If you can't bag whatever you speak through these scriptures and quit sitting there saying that our Father always come to you and been skipping the rest of the world. Somebody sits there and says, man, you don't knock off that spiritual gift on that anointed person. Man, who told you that person was anointed? Y'all saying that person that's anointed. Families, they fruits will show they works, man. And if they ain't showing you no mysteries within these scriptures, and ain't telling you ain't giving you the players behind these scriptures, then families, they works is void. It's void. Families, man, don't let nobody else choose your salvation for you. Because when they perish and go to the lake of fire, you're going to go right along with them, man. You're going to be right behind with them. Why? Because you agreed with some of the bull crap that was coming through their lips when you knew it was bull crap. You knew it, man. Some of these cats need to be ashamed with themselves because you know what you doing. You know what most of these people is doing out here and you accepting it just because y'all deep. Families, them numbers don't mean nothing to the Most High Yah. For real. Because what you going to do when you can't go live no more? What you going to do then? What you going to do when you ain't got 200, 300 people saying hallelujah, amen to your false philosophies? What you going to do then? Should have been prepping yourself up, man, while you was spreading all them lies.
Agrees to this. You have to then prove who party A and party B is. Right. So when you calling Yahuah names like Jesus, that's like saying party A. You know, it might stand up in court, but it might not. Right? Because you have to prove who party A is. So when you call on his name, his actual name, and on his name with function, it's like a specific, you're calling on him in a specific way. Just like if you wrote a contract in a specific way. If I write a contract and my contract says Angela F. Phillips, who resides at this, and this address, that's on my license.
Right.
When I go to court, there's no question about who we're talking about. And so everyone in that court has to acknowledge we're talking about her. Right? So when we say words like Lord and, I don't know, the other generic terms that we use, we're like in the spiritual realm using generic terms where things, entities may or may not acknowledge who you're talking about. They're like, oh, she's talking about party A. Who's party A? Okay, so I'm going to just sit right here. That's how it is in spiritual warfare when you're praying about people being released from demons and things like that. If you're not specific and you say specific things, they find loopholes. They find ways to legally be there, to legally do what they're doing. Yes. And so when we are not specific about Yahuwah's name and his function, there's gray area that's now left for the enemy.
That's right. So in this age of where we at, the function is Yahuah Tsabaoth. We have to learn, and the Most High is going to prove this going forward. One of the ways that we're going to come out this captivity is by speaking that name.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it. 273. What do you think 273 is? 273 is how many times Yahuah Tsabaoth appears in the scripture. That's how many. That's a whole lot of times. This is how important that phrase is. And a lot of times this name is associated with oaths. But you're going to see that this name is always associated with redemption, restoration, and judgment. So when you say this name, you ain't just saying anything. When you say this name, you're affecting the heavens. It's just like when you say Yahushua, right? When you say Yahuah Tsabaoth, when you saying Yahuah, of course you calling his name. When you saying Yahuah Tsabaoth, you calling him to function.
Yeah.
Say it again, Mom.
You call him to function in that specific way.
Exactly. So this is one of the things that we've been doing it in song and stuff. But we have to understand in this time period, we're going to have to invoke this in our prayer life, in our everyday life, and invoking the name Yahuah Tsabaoth. Because in the process of the fall of Babylon, you just read, in the fall of Babylon, it says by who? Yahuah Tsabaoth. The salvation of our people is tied to that name.
Yeah.
What you about to say? Go ahead, Al.
Can I just give a quick breakdown of what the name is?
Go ahead.
What you're saying. So what Josh is saying, Babylon, or he's speaking about the fall of Babylon. Babylon is mentioned as the enemy of the children of Israel. So when you look at Tsabaoth, you have to understand what Josh is saying about the function. Tsabaoth consists of 5 letters: the Zod, the Bet, the Alf, the
Ton, beautiful queen, Jaguar, you surely right, sis. I don't know if I'm still buffering, families. Okay, families, all right, we back online. Okay, yeah, you absolutely right, family. So when a lot of people sit there and says that the Most High comes by many, many names, that's why when it sit there and says what is his name? What is his son's name? Because in the spiritual realm, families, where you gonna be going after you leave this earth, families, you have to know his name. Like, people can miss you with all that. The name don't matter, mess, man. Family, you gonna have to know a name when you, for real. These cats was praying all types of Greek gods and all types of stuff, man, back in the days of old, man. Families, this ain't nothing to play with, man. And this ain't for kids. This is not for kids. That's why I can't wait until this Shabbat, families. We're even do part 2. Families, man, families, beware of those that sit there and says they're not part of Christianity no more. They don't go to no church or whatever the case may be. And families, these people are still in our Hebraic teachings, families, and they twisting our stuff up, man, in this hour, man. And families, they read you the commentary. They are the ones out here feeding rated R stuff to our kids out here, man. And then sitting there saying that it's fit for children. When you supposed to be the parent and go and raise your child the way they supposed to. You don't sit there and let your kid go into no congregation full of grown folks. I'm trying to tell you, families, I don't know what's going on, but I can tell you one thing, it's full of wickedness. I can tell you that much. Straight evilness. Let's go back to our lesson. Hopefully we won't be buffering.
Y and the 2, or the Tav, right? But the key to understanding Tsabaoth from a military perspective, and that's the function that Yahuah is operating in, and when he's in Tsabaoth, the Zod, most people equate it to a man on his side, but it's also equated to a stronghold or a fortress. It also speaks of a trail or a journey to a stronghold or a fortress. But when you look at the meanings of Zod, it means to wait, chase, snare, and to hunt. Now, when you're thinking of from a commander-in-chief perspective or a military perspective, when you apply that to Tsabaoth and the other letters in it, it's literally saying Yahuah is I am he, or I am the one who exists. So he's saying I am he, or I am the one who exists, who waits, and he's speaking about enemies, who waits on the enemy, who chases the enemy, who snares or sets traps for the enemy, who hunts the enemies. Or he also speaks about making the enemies flee. But he does that for the Bet, the family of the Al or the Aleph, the strong leader, the Wa, who are secured, and the two to the covenant. So he does it for specific people. So he's saying, I am the stronghold, or I am the fortress, who waits on the enemy, who chases the enemy, who snares the enemy, and who hunts the enemy, for the family of the strong leader who are secured to my covenant. So that's when you hear Yahuah Tsabaoth, that's the function in which he is operating in.
That's right.
He's zeroed in on destroying the enemies for his people who are secured to his covenant.
And this is the reason why Yahushua says when you pray, you ask amiss.
Yeah.
Because you don't pray with skill and understanding. You don't know what these terms mean. These are the terms that activate things in the Ruach matters, as my aunt say.
That's right.
So let's look at this real fast. Psalms 45, 5 through 7. Elohim is going up with a shout, with sound. With sound. Yahuah with the what? Sound of the shofar.
Yeah.
Sing praises unto Yahuah, sing praises. Mama talking about this last week. Sing praises to Yahuah, sing praises. Oh, for real? So he's telling you that, again, he's telling you, what Dawid is saying, that the Most High moves with sound. With sound. This is the reason why, like I told y'all, there's so many people in this awakening who will be seeing people doing this, and they say, oh, that's churchy. You can mark them off the list.
Yeah.
You can just scratch them out. They ain't material.
Yeah.
They ain't part of the order.
Yeah.
Right? Sing praises to Yahuah. Sing praises to your king. Sing praises. For Yahuah is king of all the earth. Sing praises with what? That word is sakal. It means with intelligence. That word in the text is used in Babylon when it talks about the weapons that come against Babylon.
Pause. Now, families, man, y'all remember doing our last I think it was our last about on Sunday, families, when I was showing y'all families that we were showing us missiles that Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel had a vision, families, a vision. You know what I'm saying? That they're going to be these fowls in the air. The fowls in the air was standing for rockets and missiles. They were going to have teeth like a lion. That teeth like a lion was the firepower that was coming out of these rockets and missiles, the firepower. And their mouth will be breathing like fire. That fire is the smoke, families, the flames, the explosion that's coming from these missiles. That's what I was showing y'all. Now, families, what my brother just showed us was the book of Psalms, chapter 47, 5 and 7. Now, families, that led me to a precept in Isaiah chapter 58, 1 through 14. 1 through 14. These are people that are preparing for war. For war. You ain't got no children whatsoever in this, man. No kids. This is a Hebraic understanding. This is not meant for everybody, man. Only those that have an ear, they will hear. Those that have eyes, they will see, families. And it is meant for you. Family, you have to be, what's that scripture where it says you have to be slow to speak, but quick to listen. You have to be slow to speak, but quick to listen. If you going live every day and you got all these prophecies, that means you're doing a lot of talking. You're not taking days off to get your vision or your dreams confirmed. The Most High come to you, and you the only one on the planet where He's come only to you within hours, and you can make a live within hours. That's what I'm trying to say, families. This YouTube, it can be very demonic and very. It will cast spells on you because it will lead you to people that you think that is anointed, but family is not of the Most High Yah, man. It is not of it's not of Yah. Now, families, He just gave us Psalms chapter 47, verses 5 and 7, and he's talking about the Most High has gone up with a shout, right? That's going to take us to James. Thank you, beautiful Queen, Jacqueline. James chapter 1, verse 19. Was that let's go there, sis. Was that slow to speak, but quick to listen? James chapter 1, verse 19 says, help me out, sis. All praises. You know what I was getting at. And that's been for real. Families, take heed to this. We're going to read verse of 16 through 19. Do not err. Err means error, my beloved brethren. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadows of turning. Of his own will begat he us with the word of truth. Who is the word of truth? Hamashiach, Yeshua. Let's continue. That we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. That's Israel. The first fruits, that's Israel, my brothers and sisters. And of his wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and you will have a slow to wrath. You can't be out here speaking all the time, man. The Most High told me this, and the Most High, that's a lie. The Most High ain't came and told you nothing that quick. For real. For real. Families, not even the prophets in the days of old had a confirmation that fast. But we have young people in this hour who confirmation comes within hours. That's something to think about. And they speaking from your book, man. And they speaking from your book. Something to think about. So families, when our brother went to to the book of Psalms, and he went to Psalms chapter 47, verses 5 and 7, it's talking about this shout, right? Families, that led me to Isaiah chapter 58, 1 through 14. Let's go to that. Now, most of these precepts that I've been doing my study, families. Most of these precepts, I had to go to my notes. You know what I'm saying? And that led me to 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47, as well as Isaiah chapter 31 and 5. And families, these are taking you back to precepts you already had. It's giving you a better understanding from what you read before. The Most High make you go back to your notes. He make you go back, man. You just don't read that stuff one time, families. Those that stay in the New Testament and Paul letters, they don't have no idea what they're talking about. Those that go into our Torah and try to make it fit a different type of nationality or group of people, you need to quit teaching. You don't know what you're talking about. Those that don't believe in blessings and curses, what we call karma, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to quit teaching. Families, this is why I say what I say. And this is why Israel is trying to tell folks you need to watch out who you talking to and watch out who you listen to. Isaiah chapter 58. This is a message from the Most High Yahuah to his children. His children. And let's see who he's talking to. Cry out loud, spare not. Who's going to cry loud? Israel going to cry loud. Who we going to spare not to? Everybody on this planet. Everybody. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Who's going to lift up their voice like a trumpet? Israel. And show my people, who people? The Most Highest people, their transgression, which is Israel. And the house of who? Jacob, their sins, my brothers and sisters. Let's go. He ain't done with y'all. Yet they seek me daily. Who seek him daily? Those that call themselves the saints. The true watchmen. If you as a watchman, it means you keep the laws, statute, and commandments of Yah. You can't be no watchman if you ain't keeping no commandments. Let's go. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways. Whose ways? Yahuwah's ways. As a nation. This ain't individually, man. I don't know how many people going to sit there and tell you, man, that people sit there and tell you, oh man, you sealed with the seal of salvation and no, man, that's a lie. That is a lie. Only the Most High Yah sealed his people, man. You just don't call yourself sealed because you done read a couple of scriptures and you saw the word sealed there, so you gonna put your name there? No, it don't work like that, man. Faith without works is dead. You feeding these people make-believe dreams on traditions of man, and you ain't showing them the ordership of how they supposed to get there. You ain't showing them the correct instructions on how them to get there, man. You having them skipping timelines. You having them skipping all type of ordinances and everything. And you ain't showing them the correct way. That ain't right. I would never deal myself and sit there and say that I'm just sealed just like that. We had Malachi who got killed. We had Thomas killed, James killed, Luke killed. I haven't heard them say sealed. They knew about it, but they just didn't put their name right there. So what give us this wicked generation that seeks for a sign? What give us the right to sit there and say that we just sealed just all of a sudden? Don't make sense, man. It don't fit prophecy, man. Let's go. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways. As a nation, they did righteousness and forsook not the ordinances of their Elohim. They asked of me the ordinances of justice that take delight in approaching the Most High. Wherefore, we have fasted, say they, and they seek us not. Wherefore, we have afflicted our souls, them are those that give an atonement, and they take us no knowledge with a question mark. Behold, in the day of your fast, ye find pleasure and exact all your labors. Did he say labors? When you do a labor, that means work, right? A man don't work, a man don't eat. That means you ain't sitting behind no computer desk either. You putting that work in. Like our forefathers and our foremothers had to do. Like the sons and daughters of Zion is out here doing every single day. In these plantations. Blood, sweat, and tears. We do that daily. We don't count on our woman families, and we don't or we just sit up families and let our woman, man, especially if you're a man. I ain't got no pity for no man. If you I'm your brother. I love you. But bruh, the Most High told me I ain't even supposed to spare you, man. You living off your sister, your woman. But some people accept that. Because you thinking these people bring you mysteries? Where at? In a movie theater? Do you want to know why they done cut off all your stuff? I thought it was rated R. Well, why you showing it for kids then? Will you take your child to the movie theater to show it? Check this out, families. This is what people got a problem with right now. Wherefore, have we fasted, say they, and they seek us not. Wherefore we have afflicted our souls, which is atonement, and they have taken no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate. That's why most of these people tell you we gonna be fasting this week. Man, I want everybody over here, man, because man, we out here, we bringing that knowledge. We gonna fast. I ain't never seen that one Israelite group out there that sit there and says, as a nation, we gonna fast and we gonna show an example. No, families, we fast, you gonna fast. You ain't gotta, you don't make no worldwide no thing, man, to sit there saying, and then you go into the community guidelines and sit there and say, we finna do a universal fast, and then family, you don't even find that in scriptures, man. Witchcraft. And to smite with the fast of wickedness, that's what they doing, of course. Ye shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. That's what these people doing out here, man. That's what these people doing. And they reading from your book, your culture. And then tell you that it don't mean, it's not talking about you, it's talking about everybody. Forgot that it said a chosen seed. No, it said the seed of Abraham. You don't even see that in the scripture right there. We do know that we come from the seed of Abraham. But families, man, the Most High said that he made a covenant with Isaac and Jacob. What covenant? Check this out, man. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, put a question mark, a day for a man to afflict his souls, a day of atonement? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ash under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, and an acceptable day to the Most High? These are those that are going to sit here and say that the Most High approved this. Man, you got your confirmation so fast, man, that the Most High done already. Yeah, you sit there and says, man, asking you shall receive, huh? Who was you asking? Was you asking Yah, or was you asking Hasatan? Is it not this, the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seekest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hidest not thyself from thy own flesh. Then shall the light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of Yahuah shall be thy reward. Families, man, when you do all this stuff and you not asking something for it, you ain't got to go on no platform. See here, you still giving yourself pride off of it. Oh man, well, we do this and we do that, and you ain't even gotta say that, man. You ain't gotta make that be known. You ain't gotta go into the community guidelines section, putting all these quotes. You ain't gotta do that either. You got a lot of people that do that. You don't gotta do all these things. These people ain't prepped up for battle, man. Preppy, man. These are powder people. They go to the powder house, man, and they put makeup on and stuff. That's what they do. You gotta you powder yourself up a lot, man. Then shalt thou call, and the Most High shall answer. Who's gonna call? Israel, man. Let me say that again. Verse 9. Then shalt thou call. Who's gonna call? Israel. And the Most High shall answer. Who? Israel. Thou shalt cry. Who's gonna cry? Israel. And he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee, the yoke. Who's that yoke that he put on? Family, that's in Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. The yoke that he said that he was going to put on Jacob. Don't act like we didn't read that. Yeah, and those that Matthew chapter. Let's go, sis. Let's put in these precepts. These precepts help you up, my brothers and sisters. Let's go to that, sis. Oh, well, sis, we got to finish this off first, sis. Hold on. Okay. Then shalt thou call, who call Israel? And the Most High shall answer. Answer who? Israel. Thou shalt cry. Who's going to cry? Israel. And he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke that we read in Genesis chapter 49, verse 10, the putting forth of the finger and speaking vanity. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hunger and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise to obscurity, and the darkness be as the noon of day. And the Most High shall do what? Guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. Check this out. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt rise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of what? Breaches. The restorer of what? Of paths. Of paths. And to dwell in. Let me read that again, family. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of breaches, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasures on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Most High, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words. Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Most High, and I will cause thee to ride upon what? The high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage. Did he say the what? That's your culture, man. He said, with the heritage of Jacob, thy fathers. For the mouth, he said, for the mouth, he said, for the mouth of Yahuah have spoken it. Man, watch out for the people you listen to in this hour, man. Watch out for these people, man. Give a care how deep they in a building, man. The Most High told you to cry louder. You don't spare none of these heathens. They're gonna make it seem like that you ain't no chosen seed. Cat's crazy, man. What's this? Put in Matthew chapter 6 and 16. Let's go, sis. Then you got your own brothers and sisters going against you, and you trying to wake them up in this hour. That don't make no sense, man. These people ain't ready for war, man. That's their problem. Oh my gosh, sis, that is so powerful. Let's go, sis. Sis, let's read. And these is talking about the arms. So these are the arms of the Most High. The arms. When they talk about the arms, just so people know what arms mean. Always in Hebrew, my brothers and sisters. Always in Hebrew. Okay, ounce is meaning for money, food, or other donations given to the poor or needy. Anything giving as charity, The hands. That what arms truly mean, families. The hands. The beggar were outstretched for alms. The hands. Let's go. Verses 5 and 6. Matthew chapter 6. And beautiful Queen Jacqueline put in 6 and 16, families. Let's go. We're going to read verses 14 through 16. Hey, sis. I love this right here. Let's go, sis. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Abba will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Abba forgive your trespasses. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as what? Hypocrites. Now you see why you popularity would get you killed out here, man. I guess people thought I was saying that as a joke. I guess people thought, man, let me continue this. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as what, my brothers and sisters? You don't put that stuff in no community guidelines. You don't put that. You don't go on no worldwide platform and sit there and say, well, we a group and we finna do a what? A universal what? No, you don't do no mess. Like if you go fast, you fast in secrecy, man. Let's go. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to what? Fast. The most, man, he said that says, verily. Verily means truly, I say unto you. They have their reward. They sure will, man. Because when the Most High come and do that visitation on them, all them lies, all them leaving the lost sheep astray, ain't letting the those that done been abused and indoctrinated, man, by lies and stuff. You wasn't trying to wake them up. Families, don't listen to people, man, out here, man, that ain't ready for war. These children is not ready to hop off the porch. These kids is not ready for battle, man. Families, man, the women and the kids stay at home. Let's go and read that, sis. Since we already here, Queen. Let's go. 17 and 18. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thy head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto who? Thy Abba. Y'all didn't hear me, man. Verse 18 again. That thou appear not unto man to what? Fast, but unto who? Thy Abba, which is in what? Secret, families. And thy Abba, which seeth in secret, shall reward what? Thee openly, families. Everything has a structure. Everything has a function to it. Everything has an ordership to it. Everything has leadership. Everything has its place, families. You can't jump timelines. You can't sit here and say you seal when you not. You can't sit here and say you saved when the Most High sit there and says that you ain't saved until you endure until the end. There's a lot of things you ain't supposed to be saying, man. I'm sorry, my brothers and sisters. But families, that's scripture, man. That's scripture. People is I don't know what they doing, man. That's why a lot of people go to Paul letters to prove a point, families, but families, they don't prove the culture of how we supposed to do things. The culture, it's a difference. It's a heritage, man. Let's go back to our lessons, families. Because we don't play no games. We got to finish this out because we got phase 2 on the Sabbath. The Sabbath is this Saturday, Most High is willing. So families, we got to finish this out. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know about, families, that we be taking heed into. Families, we don't go backwards because a lot of people don't want to move forward where we at. That don't make no sense. Families, the Most High sat there and says that while he continue to move us forward, we will fight for those, man, that is not able to fight for themselves. So those, if you can't fight right now, you don't need to be teaching. Period. And you don't need to speak. You don't need to be speaking for Israel. I understand that you don't speak for Israel, so you read the scripture or whatever the case may be. This book is for Israel.
It says that if you read in Jeremiah 50 and 51, it talks about, it says that the weapons that come against Babylon are it says mighty expert man, but that word is Sakal Gabor, right? So what it's saying is with great intelligence or powerful intelligence.
Smart weapons.
What's going out?
Smart weapons.
Smart weapons. Say it again, Ma. Wisdom and understanding. So when we pray, we gotta know how to pray, how to activate judgments.
Yeah.
So when we say that name, when we talking about in judgment, we praying now. We invoke that name, Yahuah Tsabaoth. It's going into the heavens. So the Most High is hearing you. What you're doing, you're not just saying a name. You asking the Most High to move in the areas of what you just said. Of bringing us to the fortress, bringing us to the secure place.
That's right.
Fighting against the enemies, securing us in the enemies. So this is the reason why all through the text, this name is always associated with judgment, fighting the nations, and establishing the nation. Yahuah Tsabaoth. So let's look at what the purpose of Yahuah Tsabaoth is. Because he's going to tell you. I ain't got to make it up.
Okay, families. All right, families. Now we is going to pause it right here because we still got we got Thursday. Then Most High is willing, we still got Friday, and then the Sabbath, families. So, families, we got the rest of this lesson. Well, we're gonna do a part 2 of this tomorrow night if it's the Most High is willing. And then, families, we're gonna do this lesson, part 2 of this to finish this out. And then, families, y'all make sure y'all go over y'all studies. You know what I'm saying? Go over your studies. We do know about Yahuah, Tsabaoth. Families, y'all take that word, families, and y'all research it. Get it into your membrane like I did. Understand that means that that stands for the Elohim of armies. The Adonai of armies. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now, families, this stands for the Yah military's might. Yahuah's military might. If you was a child in this right now, you need to stay on the porch. Your precepts to this, families, will be 1 Samuel chapter 17, 45 through 47. The next title of this will be the Adonai of hosts. Preserve for us. Preserve us. You will find this in Isaiah chapter 31 and 5. This is standing for that Yahuah of hosts promised to deliver us or to preserve us. Your next precept is the Adonai of hosts, the Yahuah of hosts, battles the wicked for us. You will find that in Malachi chapter 3. Families is 5 and 6. But really, it's going to really be 1 through 6. Really 1 through 6. And then 7 and 9. Okay? All right, families. Now, families, for one of the most greatest prophets, families, greatest prophets from our early years of the Torah, families, the Most High will battle obstacles for us. And he showed that as an example with Hannah. Hannah ended up, she was trying to bear a child. and she couldn't bear no child. So families, you will find that in 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 11, when Hannah was having her battles. And families, when she did receive a child, she received a son. And she named her son Samuel. And Samuel became one of the most greatest prophets for Israel. Yasharallah. Okay. Now, families, you need to learn how to cry out to the Most High of Tsabaoth. 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 Try to speak that through your tongues, families. Try to speak that through your lips. Practice it. I'm trying to practice it myself. Tsabaoth. Now, families, you will read to cry out to that. You will read James chapter 5, and you will read it's really 1 through 9, my brothers and sisters. But where we started at was 5 and 6 and 7 and 9. But you'll read James 5, 1 through 9. Okay, families. Paul was trying to show the Gentiles what do Adonai of armies truly mean. And families, he let the Gentiles know that the Most High only came for Israel. And you'll find that in Romans chapter 9, 25 through 29. Your next precept will be Isaiah chapter 1 and 9, where it was mentioned in the book of Isaiah as a third witness. As a third witness. I see you, let's go, beautiful Queen Anointed Jacqueline. I see you, sis. I love you, Queen. I love you, beautiful Queen Jacqueline. She on it. She on it. In the book of Hosea, when he sat there and says that you are not my people, you are in Romans chapter 9, exactly, because that is the precept to that, my sister. Let's go. Yes, chapters 1 through 4, and it's going to talk about Lo Rahama and Lo Ami. Lo Rohamah is when we started whoring, and that's when the Most High told us that we would not be his people. Then he sat there and says that he will gather us up again, and he will change our name from Lo Rohamah. Just he will take the Lo out, and instead of calling us Lo Rohamah, he will call us Rohamah. When one day that I said that you was not my people. And then he will call us Amy, where he sat there and said that you will become my people. Okay, families. Then you will read Genesis chapter, exactly, beautiful Queen Jacqueline. Genesis chapter 49, 1 through 10. This is the deep message from Jacob to Israel. This is the deep message from Jacob to Israel. Okay, my brothers and sisters. And last but not least, this is Yahuah's message to the whole house of Jacob, aka Israel. That will be Isaiah chapter 58, 1 through 14, where the Most High is telling us, you cry aloud and you spare no one. Families, you don't spare now one of these heathens out here. Especially families, they is not going to acknowledge who is Israel in this hour. Don't spare now one of them. Because families, they're not ready for war. They're not. We will be finishing part 2 tomorrow. Man, I want to say blessings to beautiful Queen Jacqueline, my big sister. I love you. Shalom, sis. Beautiful Queen Anointed. I love you, my beautiful sister. I want to say shalom. Man, King Will I Am, man. You know we get it in, bro. Man, you know we out here. Hey, bro, you know the Most High got us prepped up for real. Sons and daughters of Zion. We out here, families. May the Most High Yah always hold you, guide you, keep you, protect you, bless you in everything that you do. I want to say hallelujah. 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 Yahuah, my brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High. All these things I want to ask for in the name of Yahuah, his only begotten son, Yeshua HaMashiach, those that call him Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Emmanuel, all around the world. And that set apart fire, my brothers and sisters, the Ruach HaKodesh. I want to say, Kwam Yasharallah, forever rise Israel. Where the children of Yasharallah at, scattered abroad on all four corners of this planet. I want to say that we are forever out here, my brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of Zion, the chosen seed of Yah. Let's go. Shalom, Yasharallah. Much love, families. Shalom.